time.
Shut up, Adam. All right. Let's make sure the audio's good. Everyone loves this part where I test the audio in the beginning.
Got to do it.
Audio is good. Okay.
Is it the right audio? Is it coming from your mic and not from the computer?
What does that sound?
That was
I
just,
don't know what that was.
I'm really happy that the audio is good. So.
Oh!
Using a soundboard?
That's awesome.
I just got this thing. I was like,
Okay. So it is coming out of this, right?
Okay.
Test,
Well,
test.
no, it didn't sound like it was. Do it again.
Oh,
Okay, yeah.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
wait.
Now he's muted.
Now he's muted.
I
What's happening?
What's happening?
You're muted, dipshit.
I hate you so much.
No, you're seriously like going in and out.
Yeah,
How does it sound now?
Okay, now you're good.
that sounds good.
Oh, yeah. Crisp, baby.
I don't know what is up with this Yeti, but if you bump it just a little bit, it's just like, oh, the microphone is dead. It's like, but it's plugged in. So I am coming out of the Yeti.
Okay, yeah. You sound good
yeah.
now.
God damn it.
I think
Adam-
when you bumped it, you hit the power off button because there is a button right there.
No, it's the wire that goes into the fucking thing. It wiggles a little bit and it has like a meltdown. All right, let's for the podcast version, let me do an actual intro for this. Hi everyone, Tony from Hack the Movies here, and it's the September-October wrap up because we missed last month, which was on me. I had to do a lot of editing so I could go to Florida for Spookalla, which was a great convention. Shout out to everyone who stopped by the Hack the Movies booth there, and hopefully you're a new listener who subscribed after meeting me and realized how charming I am. Just a heads up, Crystal's on the way because why do anything easy? She's going to be in studio and decided to show up late. How about everyone else introduces themselves? Going down the line. First up.
My name's Gil, and thank you, Tony, for having me on the live stream.
Awesome. Who's next?
Official Joey C. Very manly. Very happy to be here, folks. Let me tell you.
Get all your catchphrases out the way. And last and always least.
Official Adam Does Movies, less manly, but still present.
Yeah, and we're going to talk about some movies. But first, we got some channel updates here. These are exciting updates. Are you guys excited?
Woo!
Oh, incredibly. Hit the laugh track.
Woo! I love that Gil has it. I need to get a soundboard. That's like the one thing I'm missing. First off, after many, many delays, so everyone knows it like 6 months into the year, I'll post the commentary tracks that were Patreon exclusives on Bandcamp. There were many, many delays. There were many issues. Hack the Movies 2022 commentaries are now on Bandcamp. If you're not a patron, I mean, you should be a patron. It's pretty awesome. But if you're not, you can go and buy that album now. It's a lot of fun. What else happened? Oh, I went to...
He's muted again.
Oh my god. Oh, I went.
Again! Hello?
What an asshole.
There he goes.
Hold on. Hello? Am I back?
Yeah, we can
Oh,
hear you
yeah.
now.
Yeah.
I was going to say, great picture in the background, Adam.
Thank you.
So yeah, I went to Halloween Horror Nights. I did a vlog. Mid Salad was there. My cousin Monica was there. That is available on Patreon or for YouTube channel members. Goodbye, Joey. And also, I want to say, guys, what the hell is Joey? Why?
It's gonna be a great podcast version.
Why did you think that was important to do right now?
That was very important. It's Grimace, man.
For the podcast listeners, Joey grabbed his oddly sexualized Grimace statue that he just has, put a hat on it, and moved it closer to the camera.
That's right. We got to have our icons in the background. That's why Adam has your photo.
Anyway, Halloween Horror Nights was awesome. I've never done it before. Have you guys ever done it?
Never.
No.
Wanted to go, but I have a family holding me back.
We're going to do a boys trip.
Dude, the lines are insane, but there were some scary houses.
Yeah,
And
that's
let me
why.
tell you-
Well, that's why we didn't go, Tony, because I was worried. There's like I saw some of the social media feeds, and it looked
Yeah.
insane. Like the lines, no, not gonna happen.
I'm actually shocked I made it into 5 houses,
Yeah,
like without an express pass or anything. I got a cold because it rained all night. That was a lot of fun. But yeah, the scariest thing, one of the scariest houses there right here. Oh, by the way, it's my cousin. The scariest house was, oh shit, that's a picture of Johanna's wedding. That's not the scariest house. I mean, that was a scary event. Was the Last of Us house. It was so scary. I was very, very, very spooked. I actually haven't played The Last of Us or watched the show. So throughout the house, I was like, wow, a mushroom man.
It's going to be an ongoing thing.
it's just what a nightmare. What a nightmare scenario we have.
That's the scariest house right there.
He was gonna say, "Whoa, look at that scary thing." Oh, it's my own reflection in a mirror.
Is my microphone working?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
What the fuck? I didn't even bump it that time. I
It's
didn't.
muting in StreamYard.
Yeah.
Like the
it's
little
be-
mute icons coming up.
I keep muting Tony. I'm just hitting it once in a while. No,
You fuck you.
I don't have that ability.
Okay, cool. She was supposed to be here a minute ago. Awesome. Next up, the Freddy versus Jason episode. I don't know if you guys saw this catastrophe. Gil, were you seeing this as it was happening?
I was seeing it on an X. I was following the saga.
Thank you for getting it right. Yeah, the Freddy versus Jason episode did really, really well, and then got hit with the copyright claim.
Yeah.
And I decided to use YouTube's editor because it worked for me recently. I'm like, oh, it didn't glitch my video. Let me trim out this 3 seconds. It trimmed out the entire review section of the episode.
Yeah.
So people were watching and they're like, well, you guys introduced the episode and then you wrapped up. Where was the review? So it has since been re-uploaded. So if you didn't get a chance to watch Freddy vs. Jason, please watch it now or go back and rewatch it. And have I killed enough time? No, I haven't killed enough time yet. Commentary tracks. I've got a bunch of commentary tracks up right now. I did Paranormal Activity with Cecil from Good Bad Flicks, Tales of Halloween with Mint Salad and Royce, and Sleepy Hollow, which is actually Monday's episode, with Mint Salad. Wow, that's a lot of great stuff on Patreon, isn't it, guys?
I
It's
completely
incredible.
agree.
Yeah. Wow.
What a value, folks. Patreon.com/hackthemovies. You'll find all your exclusive needs there.
See, Joey is a team player. Adam, you're like, oh, wow, cool. Oh, commentary track. That's great. That's great, Tony. That's awesome.
Tony, are you talking? I can't hear you.
Fuck you. No, I see my mic is on. You asshole. Do not. All right. No, I'm putting a kibosh on all audio off jokes.
Okay.
Well, Tony,
Maybe don't insult your guests then.
What were you saying, Gil?
I was saying I can relate to your copyright snafu.
Oh, yeah. Tell me about that story while we wait for Crystal
Yeah,
to show
so
up.
a couple of years ago, early on in my YouTube career, I had a 15 minutes of fame type of moment where one video just unexpectedly exploded. It was doing 50 to 70,000 views an hour at its peak. I think it was doing like 80 or 90,000 at its like absolute peak. And in the middle of that was a recap of all the Spider-Man movies before No Way Home. In the middle of that, it started getting copyright claims. Literally a 3-second segment of the video where you could hear the score. One key press of the piano was enough to trigger it. And so I was like, oh, no big deal. Just trim out that 1 second. But it was like whackable. I would trim it and it would miss. It would trim out the wrong segment. So it was still there. And so I'm like, let me try again and again. And I'm just ripping the video to shreds over the course of like 3 days. And each time you do it, you have to wait like 12 hours for it to process. So meanwhile, I've lost like 4 to 5 days of a ton of revenue. And then finally I realized instead of trimming, if I just mute it, it works like perfectly. But I was so scarred by that experience because it got to the point where I would like make the trim and then I'm like, well, it's going to be done processing in 12 hours. I don't want to miss the next window to try again. So I would set my alarm when I went to bed to go off every 45 minutes. So I would go to sleep, wake up, check. Okay, go back to sleep. And for the next like 3 months, almost every night, I would have copyright related nightmares where I'd wake up and like grab my phone and be like, what's going on? But yeah, so I've gotten over it since and I've learned my lessons, but it can be tough.
My favorite was this all happened as I was about to get on a plane. And I'm like, I have no way of fixing this right now. I have absolutely no way of fixing this. Oh, Crystal just messaged, I'm 1 minute away. Fuckface.
So she's 5 minutes away.
Adam, I like that you haven't even met her in person and already you know what it's like.
I met her on this.
Yeah.
She was actually super
Oh,
lovely, actually.
You met her on the stream where her cat litter was going off and she was typing. Yeah, I remember
I
that.
feel like I got the entire package in that one experience.
As we wait for her to show up, Joey, what is the
Tony.
name of the game tonight?
Well, folks, let me tell you, the name of the game here is Super Chats. If you want Joey C, Tony P, Adam D, and Gil T to whisper sweet nothings into your ear, all you have to do is send a Super Chat. We'll read it. We'll discuss it within reason, folks. This is the internet. We have guidelines here.
Yes,
That's the name
please.
of the game. Send your
Don't
Super
leave-
Chats.
Don't leave a super chat asking us about stuff happening in other countries. We're not going to read it, you assholes. We're not going to read it.
My last name is D, or Adam Does.
Yeah. Gil take, Adam does.
That's awesome.
Makes sense to me.
I like it.
Okay. First movie on the list.
Wait, are we not waiting for Crystal?
She says she's 1 minute away. I
Well,
mean,
okay.
while we kill time, Gil, before we talk about The Nun 2, what are your thoughts on the other Conjuring films? Feel free to say those thoughts slowly while we wait for her to show up.
Yeah, I haven't seen any of them.
Great job,
No,
Gil.
just kidding,
Joey!
What a treat.
Oh, wait a minute. Wait, I have the perfect sound effect for this. Ready?
Okay.
Ask me again.
Gil, what are your thoughts on the Conjuring films leading up to The Nun?
Do you also have the... There we go. That'll work.
Okay, The Conjuring, though.
Yeah.
I like the Conjuring movies. I feel like they are just competently told, solid ghost stories. I was thinking about it today. Why have they been more successful than other horror movies? Because I feel like if you look at just the stories, they're not that unique or different. I think the special ingredient for the Conjuring movies is the casting and just the great characters. Like even in the spin-offs, like The Nun, I don't think the first one was that great a movie, but I thought the characters were great. Like I love the Maurice character. I can't remember her name, but Lorraine's, the actress's daughter, who looks so much like her.
It's her sister.
Sister. Okay.
Yeah.
But just great characters and just solid ghost stories. The other thing too, I was watching a lot of classic horror movies recently, like Frankenstein, Dracula, and stuff. And one thing that is so good about them for the Halloween vibes is just the atmosphere and the like Dracula's castle.
Yeah.
Or the gaslit streets in Jekyll and Hyde. And I feel like you get a lot of that period piece type stuff from The Nun, the first one and the second one.
Yeah, I did an episode on like all the Conjuring films, and I think I said The Nun was my favorite one out of all of them.
Wow.
I actually
agree.
What a...
Son of a bitch, there she is. Sit the hell down. We had to kill time. Oh, guys, Gil, here, Gil, do you want to play an applause on your soundboard? There she is. There she is. Okay.
He's muted again.
Oh, no.
Just a smile on his face.
What a
when it happens.
disaster. Folks, you got 3 guys here that know how to use audio equipment. Come on over to our channel. Subscribe to Official Joey, Gil, Adam Does Movies.
Are we back? Are we
I
back?
guess.
Do not, Crystal, for the love of God, do not touch this cord or the mic. Okay. Yes, I like The Nun the most out of all the Conjuring films. I actually like the spin-offs way more than the mainline films. I feel like I might be the minority. Not the first Annabelle, but the other ones. Joey, do you like The Conjurings?
Yeah, I actually agree with you. I do like the spin-offs better than the original movies. Still fantastic horror movies, but The Nun is without a doubt my favorite, like the original Nun. But
Okay.
I do love that the lore is so deep that they have all these spin-off stories that keep the series fresh for me.
What the hell are you? Oh my god, I'm gonna kill her. She just had TikTok open.
I didn't mean to. I turned my phone on for a second.
Adam, what do you
No,
think
it's not.
about The
It's YouTube.
Conjuring and The Nun?
I'm trying to pull up.
Don't pull up anything.
I feel like I shouldn't talk. I'm scared to talk.
Guys, this is why I'm not allowed on live streams. I'm sorry.
I really enjoy The Conjuring 1 and 2. The third one, The Devil Made Me Do It, or whatever it's called, was garbage.
Yeah, that sucks.
I don't really care about any of the spin-offs either. They're not very good.
Really? Did you not like The Nun one?
No, I didn't like The Nun.
Wow, interesting.
Really? Why?
Yeah, I just thought it was kind of... I couldn't even finish it.
You know what? I don't trust any of your opinions anyway because of the screen behind you.
I'll rectify that in a little while, Crystal.
No.
Just give me
Yeah,
some time.
So The Nun 2, I went to The Nun 2, and guys, I don't even know this, but you know how there were people going around sabotaging screenings of Sound of Freedom? They were turning the air condition off and everything. Well, those guys...
There he goes.
Hey, you know what happened? The Sound of Freedom people heard him. They cut his mic. They're doing it again.
I hit the goddamn mic. Someone send a super chat in so I can get a better microphone.
I'm looking at photos on Google of Crystal Quinn to put on the TV, and I'm like a little concerned that my wife is going to see some of these and be like, Adam, what the fuck are you doing?
Okay.
For charity.
Okay. So those people targeted my theater because I went to see this with Casey, and there was no goddamn heat in the theater on opening night. Also, it took a half hour for the film to start because they had an issue with the projector. But when the movie did start, I watched it and I actually enjoyed it, not as much as the first one. I thought some of the scares are really good. I love what they do with what's her name, Valak, where you constantly see images of her projected on things like the magazine. I thought was cool. I like when there's like a wall where like the wallpaper is peeling and it's making her face. I thought that was cool as hell. I don't know. What did you think of The Nun 2?
I didn't hate it. I liked The Nun 1 better than Nun 2. The second one felt a little forced. It was kind of all over with the plot. I couldn't. Hey, Adam.
That better?
Oh, that's a good one. You picked a good, pretty one.
Yeah, it's a nice photo.
Oh,
Nice
thank
composition. Looks a
Oh.
little better than Tony's photo.
Thank you.
I'm going to mute everyone's goddamn mic in a second.
Start with
Okay,
your own.
continue talking about
Yes.
Nun 2.
Anyway, the Nun 2, I just felt like it was all over the place. I didn't find it as exciting as Nun 1, but it was still fun to watch. The other Conjuring movies, I think Annabelle's are my favorite.
Yeah.
The Conjurings was good.
Yeah, I enjoyed it, but nowhere near as much as the first one. Gil, how did you feel about Nun 2?
I thought it was solid. I saw the first one a while ago. I feel like I felt pretty similarly about both of them. I won't just repeat everything you said. So just trying to think of, the magazine thing you mentioned. I thought that was really cool. I also liked I got some like Indiana Jones vibes almost with how they actually solved everything and the ancient artifacts and stuff. I thought was cool.
It was a bit much when the nun ran away from a boulder. I thought that was a little
I
Yeah.
thought that was kind of normal. You know, what nuns don't run away from? I
Right.
thought that was
Fair.
simple. Like,
That's fair.
They introduced like a relic that's like from a saint. It's her eyes for some
Yeah.
reason.
yeah.
Okay, were you guys confused by Valak's abilities? Because they're able to
Oh
just
my god.
they're
Yeah,
able to
big
just
time.
burn a priest alive at a church, and then they never use this power against like
Well,
the main
listen, yeah.
characters.
Until the end, like this, she could do everything and anything she wants, and which doesn't make sense because she's going after very specific people. Even
Yeah.
in the other movies, if you watch, what was it? When she comes back,
Conjuring 2.
was it Conjuring 2?
That's the
Where
one.
she's in it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Is that Conjuring 2 or 3?
No, it's 2.
It's too.
Oh, is it 2? Wow.
Yeah.
I don't know. They all mesh in my head. But yeah, why couldn't she even use that? Like, if you're going through the series, like at least have her have the same damn powers for the entire series.
And I don't think we ever got a good reason for why she was so easily able to kill those specific people, like with no hesitation. But yeah, I kind of enjoyed it. Joey, where do you stand on this film?
Yeah, I was like pretty disappointed for this movie because I saw a bunch of people talk shit about it on X. But you know, the horror genre is so saturated with like nuns and demons, and this movie definitely didn't like reinvent the wheel, but it felt refreshing. I thought it was spooky. I did appreciate like the hints of the ending throughout the film, and I feel like it all came together nicely at the end. It wasn't, I felt at least, it wasn't overly reliant on jump scares. Like they were kind of like spread out sporadically, so it kind of kept me on the edge of my seat. And yeah, I dug the pacing of it. The story wasn't anything to write home about, I guess. But
one of the issues was the first film, you don't know that Frenchie is Maurice, the guy they're talking about in The Conjuring, until the very end. But for this one, you know who he is now. So him being possessed by the nun and like, oh no, is he going to snap out of it? It's like, well, yeah, no, I know he snaps out of it. I've seen the other movies.
Wait, does it at the end of the first one, he's possessed, right?
He doesn't know. Yeah, I guess he is. Yeah.
But there's a clip of him being possessed in the very first one.
In the first Conjuring, yeah.
But we never see that clip again in the second one. Why? Do you ever realize that in the second Nun?
I don't know. I didn't make the
movie. Nun 1, I think at the very, very end, we see a small clip, right? Am I making this up?
They go back to it towards the end of the Nun 2. They show like what happened. And so they actually add on to the scene where they're in that little fountain of youth thing or whatever in the in the wishing well. Yeah, they go back to it.
Yeah. Yeah, overall it was fine. I will say this thing scared the shit out of me. This goat demon. I don't know why. This thing just made me really uncomfortable. This tiny little goat guy. I don't like the way it walked. I didn't like the sounds it made. I'm like, oh, I don't like anything about this. This is freaking me out.
So did these creatures it just appear like the nun made these?
It disappeared off the stained glass because the goat was on there and then it was gone.
But where did these powers come from?
I don't know.
Why can we just make random stained glass?
You guys are asking
magazines and walls and stuff.
You guys are way more concerned with answering questions than the writers of this movie were.
I was confused.
I'm still trying to figure out why the Vatican's sending like 2 teenagers to figure out how to stop a nun. Like, we got the best of the best here. These 2 little girls are gonna save the day.
Well,
I was
the Catholic Church. They do like a nun.
I was a little confused.
We're not giving them our boys. We need to keep the boys close.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
I got you. I read you.
Anyway, I was a little confused because the Annabelle demon is a goat man. So for a minute, I thought this was the Annabelle demon, but I guess it's his little brother. Either way, I don't like the way it read. It made me, I was just like, nah, don't like anything about this. It was really, really creepy.
Yeah.
But yeah, overall, Nun 2, I think it's completely serviceable. I did like some of the themes it had. I did like the whole Frenchie stuff. The mom in the movie was bothering me the whole movie. I'm like, where the hell do I know this actress? And it turns out it's the girl from the Narnia films. I had to Google that right after the movie. I'm like, it's gonna bother me all night if I don't know who that person is. But yeah, I would recommend Nun 2. Just don't get too hyped for it. Next up, this film.
Oh my god.
Okay, well, I guess I think we know where Crystal lands on this. No One Will Save You from 20th Century Studios on Hulu. I heard a lot of good things about this movie. It seemed to get a lot of praise. I think Stephen King gave it a glowing review. Not that that means much these days. But yeah, I checked it out the other night. I was pleasantly surprised by this. I really liked it.
I went in not knowing a single goddamn thing except the title. I didn't know it was an alien movie. I knew nothing. And I was like, horror movie, let's go. Saw it last night. What the fuck? Did I watch?
She like texted me last night. She's like, so does something happen? And I'm like, yeah, a lot of things.
Does the movie get better? Because it was like in the very beginning where I'm like, what's going on? And I didn't know there's no lines in the movie. And it took a while. Like until
that was awesome.
It was okay till we got to the town, and I'm like, this is forced with no lines.
I didn't realize until like midway through. I'm like, oh my god, not one person has like said like a full sentence in this, and I really enjoyed it. So basically, the story: it's this girl. She's alienated in her town, and she lives alone. Turns out there's an alien invasion happening, but no one will save her because everyone kind of hates her. And it's revealed what she did later on in the film to get the whole town to hate her. But yeah, I thought it was really, really suspenseful. It has some issues, but yeah, Gil, what did you think of the film?
I didn't see it.
Fuck, you told me that. You told me that.
Yeah,
you told me that.
I
Sorry.
heard it was really good, so I was saving it for last when I was going through your list and ran out of time.
Joey, what did you think of the film?
Well, the trailer looked really good, so expectations were high. It did kind of fall short in terms of pacing, but I feel like there wasn't really time spent built on like the characters or the story much. Although it was a decent watch, I kind of dug how there was minimum, dialogue. The show versus tell aspect of this story was really fun. The CGI was pretty subpar, but that doesn't bother me much. I loved the cinematic and creative uses of angles that they used in this because I don't know, it just kind of stuck out to me. Like a lot of the shots were cool and the way it looked, but the CGI wasn't that good. But yeah, the pacing is what really threw it off for me. That's a big thing for me.
Yeah. Well, what about you, Adam?
Oh, I get to review this one. If you guys want to know my thoughts on The Nun 2, you can check out my review on my channel.
Wait, I thought me too.
Adam Does Movies. Just if you want to know, you can check it out there. I have a full review. No One Will Save You.
Why didn't you say anything? Look, I'm not on my A game tonight. You got to call me out if
I wanted to play victim, obviously.
Wow.
Poor baby.
I'm a middle-aged white guy, Tony.
I thought I'd do like more on my game coming back to these live episodes, and it's more of a shit show than ever.
Much like Quinn, I knew nothing going in. Crystal, I think I can go by last name basis with you, Quinn.
Let's do it.
Much like Quinn, I went into this like fresh as a daisy, and I have to tell you, I didn't like this movie. I watched it with my family, and the kids didn't really like it much either. My wife was a little bit more forgiving. There was a lot of shit in here that annoyed the crap out of me. First off, these aliens have like Professor X abilities. They have telekinesis, yet they can't kill this bitch who has no powers. Like, it makes no sense either. Like, why are they keeping her alive? There's no purpose to any of it. Secondly, there's some really bizarre editing in this movie. The bus scene specifically. She's on a bus. She's trapped with a bunch of people that have been taken over by aliens. And then we just cut from the scene. Like, she just walks off the bus. No one chases her. Nothing happens. What the fuck happened? I don't understand. And then the ending, subverting expectations. Nothing worked. It didn't add up.
Yeah, the aliens. I actually like when aliens are more like mysterious and they kind of don't make sense because that kind of adds to it for me. But yeah, at some point I'm like, all right, well, they're clearly having a problem with this girl. Why don't they just shoot her? Like, why are they constantly running at her, yelling at her? It's like, you don't have like a rock you can throw at her. Like, your powers aren't working.
No, that's what her power is, to throw rocks at people and murder them.
Her power is luck or being unlucky. I don't know. However, with the aliens, I did think they looked generic, but then they added like little using aliens that are like, am I good?
I think you said little dick aliens.
Little details.
Oh, okay.
There were little details and then I like how they're like there's different types of aliens, so it's like, hey, there's different species, but they're all working together. Overall, I enjoyed the film. I agree they could have like made the aliens a little bit more consistent, like with their abilities. I didn't mind what they were trying to say with the ending. I thought that was really, really fun.
But how many times did it feel like it was going to end? There's at least 3 times when I was like, oh, the end. They're going to make it artsy and end here. And I was like, oh, they're still going.
Yeah.
It felt very forced to be arts. Like, I love artsy films. I do. But it felt, especially towards the end, like beginning was super slow and then it sped up and it's like, how can we throw more artsy shit in here before we end?
Yeah, I agree.
It felt like Hulu trying to be A24 and failing.
Yeah.
Yes.
I agree. It did lose a little steam for the end. Like I said, I really loved the beginning and whatnot. The middle was really good. And then the woman talked and I was like, turn it off. turn it off. Turn this off.
When the woman, yeah.
Fuck
I think
you.
we can all agree
Can we
that's
talk
when the
about-
movie really lost us there. Can you just not talk? You really should
You
learn.
know I'm the fucking.
I'm gonna tell you-
I'll talk
I am going to tell you
all
something
fucking
that,
day.
Yeah.
that triggered the shit out of me in this movie. And
Yeah.
this woman was loud breathing throughout the entire thing. Like, she goes to the mailbox to get the mail, loud breathing. She's coloring something, breathing loudly. I don't know what's going on with her asthma, but figure it out. That was a bit nuts.
All right, real quick. Who is everyone's favorite aliens? I'll show you. We have regular normal size aliens with finger feet. There was a big daddy long leg alien who dances to control ships, and then there was tiny muscle alien.
Yes!
Which one was your favorite, Joey?
Definitely tiny muscle alien, because that's like me. I'm tiny, muscular, very manly, you know?
What about you, Adam? What was your favorite alien?
I like the daddy long legs alien. It kind of reminded me of myself too. Long, gangly.
Crystal, what was your favorite?
I want to say baby creepy alien that gets stabbed in the shoulder, but was it just me, or did they all look like they were like about to like stomp the yard? How many times did they go?
Okay,
Multiple
no,
times.
that's why Daddy Longleg was my favorite. I love when they just cut to him and he's just making shapes out of his arms.
You know what? I'm gonna
And I was like,
laugh
what
about
the
that.
hell is this? And I'm like,
Yes.
if I was Adam watching this, I'd be like, that's stupid. But I'm Tony, and I went, that's awesome. There should have been more of this. in
No,
the
I
movie."
like that. I thought that shit was cool.
Oh, you like that?
Yeah, I like the atmosphere was actually really well done in the movie. It's not like the whole
Yeah.
thing was. I watched it all. You know, it's a watchable disaster. But like the visuals, I thought were good. Kind of like Joey. I don't get hung up on shoddy CG. I thought it was adequately done. I like the look of it, and the aliens were cool. I liked all the designs. It's just the story did not work for me at all.
Yeah, I do feel like the 20th Century Studios, because Prey last year was a really good movie, but the
I love that
CGI,
movie.
I'm like, can you guys just give it a little bit more time, just put a little bit more money and polish this, because it's almost there. Like, there was a lot of shots of like the aliens in the dark out of focus. It technically should have worked better.
Mhm.
But yeah, when the first is like going in a room, I'm like, oh, that's real noticeable. A lot of the close-ups were cool, like when she stabbed it in the head and everything. I thought that looked fine.
Mhm.
But overall, I think the movie was fine and fun. It's definitely got
fine.
some logic issues to it, but overall it was enjoyable. Joey, what are your final thoughts on No One Will Save You?
I love a good UFO and trauma movie. Fantastic.
Okay, Crystal, what are your final thoughts on No One Will Save You?
Nah.
Yeah.
Okay, Adam, fuck you. Next movie. What are your thoughts on No One Will Save You, Adam? Final thoughts.
Did you
Just watch Prey again. That movie's great.
get Gil?
Huh?
Did
Gil
you-
didn't
I
see
I
it.
didn't say it.
Oh.
You can still have a thought.
Thanks for
You
looking
can
out
still
for me.
have a
Gil, based off
Don't
this
do it.
conversation, will you be watching this movie?
Well, I was doing an homage to the movie because I understand there's no talking in it, right?
I thought you were doing
Exactly.
Castaway.
Okay.
Which is far better, by the way. Watch Castaway.
No. Next up, Totally Killer.
Yes.
Now, I think we
Yeah.
all saw this one, right?
Yep.
Mhm,
Okay. Totally Killer. This is part of those films they've been doing where they take like an 80s comedy and remake it as a horror comedy. So what was it? Happy Death Day was Groundhog Day. Freaky was basically Freaky Friday. The Totally Killer is Back to the Future, for the most part. I haven't watched any of those movies, by the way. This is the first one I've watched out of that like group. I don't know if those are better, but this one was streaming for free, so I watched that. Basically, the girl, her mom is a survivor of like a previous slasher attack from like the 80s. The slasher comes back, kills her mom. Her friend, who just happens to be making a time machine, accidentally like sends her back in time with the killer, and she now has to like reshape history to make sure her mom survives, and wacky hijinks ensue. Gil, what did you think of Totally Killer?
I thought Totally Killer was totally solid.
Totally Giller, you mean? Right? Right? Okay.
Damn it, that was better. Can we do that again for the podcast?
Yeah.
Cut it.
Gil, what did you think of Totally Killer?
It's totally Giller.
Whoa!
That doesn't even make sense.
Whoa! Whoa!
Yes, so smart. You're so smart, Gil.
I thought it was okay. I thought it was fun. Tony, you mentioned my favorite part, which is I go into the movie wondering how are they going to do the time travel, and I figured it'll be like she gets struck by lightning, or they're not even going to try and explain it. But it's just her friend is, I'm working on a time machine for the school science fair or whatever, which I found so funny. And it's like tonally weird because I feel like the rest of the movie is silly, but this is like Rick and Morty levels of absurdity, and the rest of the movie doesn't go to that same level. And I think I might have enjoyed it more if it did. Otherwise, though, it's the kind of movie that's perfect for whenever it's Halloween and I'm trying to find something to watch with friends. I want to watch something legitimately terrifying. They want something fun. This is like the good averaging of tastes where I can enjoy the little parcels of tension and thrills, and they can enjoy all the laughs. For me, the comedy was like 50-50 what landed and what didn't. But overall, I thought it was fun. The one bone I have to pick with it is they sometimes cut back to the present, and they did it so infrequently that it felt like they forgot about it. And then I realized it was there for a reason, but I felt like they needed to find more to do with it because otherwise it felt kind of odd. Who is it? Joey, you were saying pacing, very important. I feel like that was a minor pacing issue with the movie. But otherwise, yeah, it was fun. I enjoyed it.
All right, Joey, what did you think?
Yeah, I thought it was fun as hell. I honestly can't wait to watch it again because I loved Happy Death Day. I'm shocked you haven't seen that. That's a great movie.
I know.
Gil, like what you said, the balance between comedy and horror is really well done. And I love the climax and the twist in this movie. I'm not going to say it, but it's really fantastic movie. And it's a really good movie to watch with friends. I agree. It's a fun ride. Blumhouse strikes again, baby.
Well, I watched it alone, but thank you for telling me it's really great to watch with friends.
I also watched it alone. Well, no, I had Grimace.
Yeah, Grimace.
You had Grimace at least.
That's right.
Adam, you actually just did a video breaking down like a bunch of the Blumhouse horror films,
That's
right?
right, I did, yeah.
So how does this one compare to the others?
I think it was I enjoyed it. I didn't think it was great by any means. I think Happy Death Day is better. This kind of felt more like The Babysitter. Do you remember that one? The Babysitter.
I didn't enjoy that one.
Yeah, this is better than that, but it kind of had that straight to TV vibe for me. I don't really like digital film as much as like old school stock film, and this kind of had that. I don't know. It didn't feel movie quality to me, but the jokes, I agree with Gil. We're about 50-50. I'm not a big fan of the kind of like modern Seinfeld humor. I love Seinfeld, but I don't like the new gen humor where it's point out everything that's wrong with the past.
I got a question. I got a comment about that, but yes.
You know what I'm saying though? Like the joke landed when they would show them playing dodgeball or like hitting each other. But then Sabrina the Teenage Witch, who's that?
Is that who that is?
Yeah.
That's who that is.
She would be like, you can't do that, or that's inappropriate, or
okay.
And nobody reacts when she says it. So it's like, what are we doing
so,
here?
I talked about this with Joey. This is obviously a woman going back in time. I want to make the same thing where a guy goes back in time and he's like, oh, thank God I could be an asshole. Like, oh my God. Like, I want the opposite of this.
Just, like, waiting to wear the booby inspector shirt so bad.
Yeah. Because she sees a guy in a female booby inspector shirt. She's like, oh, that's not right. I want to do the thing where I go back in time, like, oh my God, I gotta buy one of those shirts. That's awesome. Like he just they're like, you gotta get back to the future to save your dad. He's like, no, I'm having too much fun in the past. I'm not going back to the future.
That's kind of the Barbie movie where Ken goes into the real world and he's like infatuated by the patriarchy. That was funny. But again, even in Barbie, I kind of had that same thing where it's show don't tell. And every time they would make a joke at the expense of the past, which is fine, it's funny. They would go the extra step and like point out why it's wrong. And that's where you lose it. It's like, you had the punchline. Don't go the extra distance and ruin it.
Yeah. If like she sees like like an Indian and they're called like the Red Devils.
Right.
Like her just sighing would have been fine.
Exactly.
Would have been great.
But then she had to go, and there's the casual racist. Like, we know.
When she's saying it to no one, it's just to herself.
It's to us.
Yeah. Did you see that? You couldn't do that today.
Right.
I seriously was getting I almost felt like she was going to go full Fleabag at a moment and just look right at us, the camera, and be like, you see what's going on over here?
Were they like, because that would have been better if it was just the sigh, but I wonder if the writers are like, but people might not know why she's sighing. We have to let them know that it's wrong. It's like, no, we get it. We're not idiots. I guess unless you know, if you're from a different part of the world, you know nothing about Native Americans. I guess that maybe that's confusing to you, but most of us got it. I don't know. Where did you land on this movie, Crystal?
I absolutely loved it. Besides the very forced woke jokes, which did get a little annoying because it was nonstop, and then her being that motherly figure a little too hard. Besides that, I absolutely loved it. It felt a lot of fun. I also love this actress because I loved Sabrina the Teenage Witch series. Loved it, thought it was fun. So that brought me back to that character for her anyway, because it was a little similar. It nailed it, I think, with the 80s jokes, the killing, and all of a sudden how things were changing. Because I was wondering how they were going to do that.
The Mandela effect was used pretty well in this.
Is it the river? I thought that was really cool when it's like the mom mentions the river and then the daughter later like mentions the river, and it just there's little things in there that was like a cherry on top, but then there was really sour cherries that should have been thrown out. So
I do like how like Back to the Future is like a son trying to steer his dad in the right direction, and this is like a daughter being like, "Oh my God, Mom, you're pretty terrible. We gotta
you are a whore."
I mean, to be fair, Marty's mom was trying to bang him at one point.
She really was.
Is this mask supposed to be inspired by Kiefer Sutherland from?
Well, it actually looks like Max Headroom.
Yeah,
it's not a Max Headroom mask, but I think it's just supposed to resemble it.
Well, I'm getting Kiefer from Lost Boys vibes with the blonde hair and the earring.
Oh yeah, maybe.
But yeah, Max Headroom for sure too. It's like a combo.
I do like that redhead, the one who was in Based on a True Story and Scream 6.
Yeah.
She's been popping up in a lot of things lately, so I like seeing her. And son of a bitch.
What?
Son of a.
Oh my God.
Hi, Mint.
Hello. I watched Totally Killers last night, Tony. I watched this last night.
What did you think about it? Mint Sorry, world famous. But
all
not.
Of a sudden, has fame gone to her head yet?
Yeah, not famous enough to be recognized at Universal Studios, but world famous Mint Salad. What did you think of Totally Killer?
All right. So the very beginning, I was like, you know what? The premise, it's okay. I enjoy it. I didn't quite get it at first. And then as the movie went on and on, I was like, okay, I'm kind of intrigued by this because I don't think I've ever really seen a plot like this before. Using time travel. And then, I really like the colors. The colors really impressed me. Those are the biggest things that I had to note about it.
You mentioned that in movies all the time. You're like, I like the color.
I mean, the color work cannot be understated. Color work is great in colors.
Okay.
Colors are great in colors.
You should put that on the poster for Totally Killer. Color is great in colors, Mint Salad.
Exactly.
It's the pull quote.
All colors in movies must be appreciated. I don't think people talk about the colors enough, personally.
You're right, Mint. They don't talk about the colors enough.
No, they sure don't.
And your light just turned off. Awesome.
No, it's in color mode, actually. I'm making a point. I'm making a point, Tony.
Yes.
Tony doesn't see color, so
Yeah.
I don't see color. I don't see color.
Whoa.
Good for you, Tony. Colorblind over here.
That you know what? I was just thinking after editing a video with you all day and spending 2 weeks with you, I'm like, I just feel like I'm just not getting enough Mint Salad in my life. So thanks for showing up unannounced.
Well, you need the minerals and vitamins from a mint salad.
God damn it, Mint. All right, so we all recommend Totally Killer. It's a good time.
It is a good time.
Sorry, Mint, you threw me off. One last thing. I love that the ending of this movie, they call it the quantum drop, but it was called the Gravitron at my carnival.
It was.
Mm-hmm.
I love that ride as a kid. And it was really taking me back how they were stuck and the thing would go, and then they were trying to stand vertical. I'm like, oh my God, I did all of this as a kid.
Tony, did you ever try hanging on to the middle as long as you could? Because our guy let us do that, and then it would suck you backwards.
No. Our guy Our guy did not allow that.
You
Can
haven't
you go
lived.
sideways though? Would you like jump and try to see if you can go upside
Mhm,
down?
mhm.
And then
I
all
would
of a sudden,
try,
when it was
yeah.
Slow down. You
Yeah.
just fall on your head.
I would
fucking love that ride.
sit up and get so dizzy. That was my favorite part of the movie. It was like, oh my god, it's the Gravitron.
Yeah,
But
my theme park, it wasn't called the Gravitron or anything like that. They literally just called it, I think it was like the Rotary or something.
Okay.
It's like
I thought you
literally
were
just
gonna-
spins around.
I thought you were going to say it's called the Gillatron. I thought you were going to keep that joke going.
I'm gonna get it next time.
Yeah, missed
Also, I
out.
wasn't quick enough on it, but when you were saying like, all right, we're all wrapped up here on Totally Killer. Wait a minute, mint salad.
Damn it!
And then she disappeared.
Yeah, she's just
She
gone.
showed up uninvited, unannounced, and then disappeared.
Well, she's like a fairy godmother. She just kind of comes when she's needed and then goes away.
Okay, what's the next movie? Goddamn. Hold on, let me see here. Totally good. Okay, yeah. Next movie.
Oh, I didn't see this. I'll step out.
Step out. By that you mean just lean back? Okay.
Yeah.
Crystal's
That's all I
stepping
got.
out, everyone.
That's all I got.
Watch the mic,
If you watch the mic.
the hot mic.
Saw X, which is Saw 10, which I was confused why it was called 10 because Spiral made it seem like it was a spin-off. They said like from the book of Saw. I'm like, okay, so that's like a separate thing. But now it's included as a part 9. I'm very confused. Because Fast X wasn't Fast 11. It didn't include Hobbs and Shaw. These are two comparable franchises, by the way. But yeah, Saw X. I've been going through the films again. The last time I watched it was right before Spiral. I used to really not like the Saw movies because I thought they were smarter than they were, and the fans were kind of annoying. But now that I'm less bitter in my twilight
bitter?
years, I've returned back to them. Like, these were a lot of fun. I really enjoyed these. And
Yeah,
now there's a new one.
They're like the Fast and the Furious equivalent of a 7. Like they're the dumb
Yeah,
version of
They
7.
really are.
Yeah.
If Fast and the Furious is ripping off Point Break, Saw is
Right.
ripping off 7. So Gil, what did you think of Saw X?
I thought it was a solid Saw movie. I mean, it did the Saw thing where creative traps where you feel like I can't look away, but I don't want to look. Even though some of the traps felt a little bit unfair, they would always go one extra step where it's like cut your leg off, but then also suck out enough bone marrow onto the scale. So it always felt like there's no way they can get it on time. But overall enjoyed it. A couple bones to pick with it. I thought the first nice. I was trying to think where can I work Gil into this. It's like every time they no, it's not going to work. So the first half hour, it felt kind of slow to me because he's going to get this miracle surgery that we know is not going to work. So you know exactly where it's going. So you're kind of just waiting to get to the point.
Gil, I beg to differ. I didn't know this was like taking place in between Saw 2 or something. I thought it was
between 1 and 2.
I thought this was all new shit because I never watched Saw like 4, 5, 6, or 9.
Well, Adam, he died
He
at the
died
end
like
of 3.
6 movies
So
ago.
he can't get
Oh,
better.
I'm sorry. Do horror people not come back in their movies? Like
Not in this universe. There isn't a supernatural element in this
I
universe.
just assumed by the 9th they brought him back using some voodoo magic or some shit, but he still had the cancer. So, and also, he doesn't look like a spring chicken, and neither does the woman he's with.
Okay.
So
I
go
don't know
ahead.
what you're
Sorry,
talking
Gil.
about.
Sorry.
Adam, are you telling me that these two pictures are 20 years apart? Are you telling me that these two actors look different than they did 20 years ago in this movie that's supposed to be in 2004?
Yeah,
You're telling me there's a difference here.
No, they're the same.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think it worked out great. They gave him a beard.
The haircut's
hide-
flawless on the actress.
Yeah, that's kind of a wig close to what she
Mhm.
wore. And, her cheeks are a little different. Maybe she got like lipo that week. I don't know.
Just that week.
Yeah. I think they look exactly the same. Okay.
I do
No,
like the comparison is an in-movie photo and then one where they're like eating sandwiches between scenes.
I couldn't find a picture of them from the movie where they're both facing the camera. Like I really looked, but every single picture he's like on his side or it's her side profile. Like, god damn it. Real quick, Joey, we're gonna get to you. I do want to say, I think I was talking to Gil about this beforehand. I actually might have said this to you, Joey, yesterday. If the movie started, I would have preferred if the director just came on the screen and just went, "Hey guys, we didn't feel like digitally de-aging them. Just pretend this is 20 years ago." I would have been like, you know what? Good job. Thank you. You know what? I will go in with that mentality. But yeah, Joey, what did you think of Saw 10?
Yeah, Jeepers Creepers 3 level de-aging right there. All right. I had high expectations because the movie was super hyped and everyone was talking about it on X. I think it delivered. I really enjoyed it. The traps were scary as hell. This isn't a spoiler or anything, but the brain surgery trap was wild. And then the leg one that you were talking about, Gil, was absolutely disgusting. It was kind of a wild ride with John. Like, you feel bad for him. And then there's the relapsing and then going back to his old ways. I really dug that. And I really dug the power trip between John and Cecilia. That was really cool. Although I felt like I could figure out the plot twist in 20 minutes or so. And I was just kind of like waiting for it to happen after that. I don't know if like anybody else had that thought while you were watching it, but
yeah, it was pretty easy to pick up on. Adam, what did you think of Saw X?
I enjoyed it as well, and this is from someone that doesn't really like the Saw movies. Not really my cup of tea, but I thought this had a nice balance, had a good runtime. I like that they tried to humanize a totally horrible person. That made me feel good. That we spent a half hour humanizing a guy that's like a total pile of shit.
They've tried to humanize him in a ton of movies, but yeah, it
was weird. but it kind of worked somehow. It kind of worked in this. I think the only criticism, because you guys touched on all the good things, I thought the gore was great. The traps were awesome. The only thing is I thought it ended really badly, where they kind of like walk off into the sunset like they're heroes. That was weird.
Well, Adam, most Saw movies end with a door being closed, and this one ends with a door being open.
Do you have a door opening sound, Gil?
Like always, it'll be like a few minutes from now. I'll be like, wait a minute, let's redo this.
You didn't see it. I was just about to ask you, and I'm like, wait, she didn't see it.
I do have a question, though.
What?
Wow, that was an
Get a little
aggressive
closer.
one.
Don't touch it, though.
So I want to know, because I don't hate the first one, but is the second one, would you say this is, everyone says the first one's the best, and they said this is the best one after the first. Is that agreed? Is that a collective agreement?
I'm not done watching them. The first two are probably the best. I need to rewatch the other ones because some of the newer ones are okay. I will say, so this one, John Kramer Jigsaw, is the main character, which hasn't been done before. Like, they've gone into his backstory and everything. We've learned a lot about this character, but it's never really told from his point of view. You're never with him the whole movie. It's either, we get a couple story beats with him and then it's just his voice introducing the traps and everything. So that was kind of unique to see him, interacting with this. And it is based on the knowledge that the later films, because it's just telling you that he has accomplices. They left out his third accomplice, which I thought was interesting. The one who was introduced way later. But they have the guy from 4, 5, and 6. They have Amanda, obviously, is back because she was like a fan favorite. I was just unique to see a movie told from his point of view. I will say the first trap, the one that he's imagining, because they have an imaginary trap.
So weird.
I think it was just because they were like, shit, we don't have a trap till way later in this film.
That's exactly what it was.
Yeah. Because you notice the trap didn't even kill the guy, and usually they're meant to kill. Yeah. But it's like, you need to, and I really relate. We're looking at a picture of it right now, actually. They were like, you need to either break your fingers or your eyes will be sucked out. And I'm telling you right now, before he finished, I would have broken all my fingers.
Oh, yeah. I don't know what was wrong with this dude.
Why was he turning it so slowly?
Why was he making a meal out of it? Just fucking snap them all at once.
Yeah.
He's like,
in the very beginning, it doesn't really happen. He's imagining it.
Oh. I was like, how is that like a hard decision to even figure out?
I don't
I don't
know.
get it.
I don't know. But so in a later movie, when he's talking to the detective, who's one of his accomplices, he tells him like, never make it personal. Even though the first person he technically killed canonically was a guy who caused the miscarriage of his son. But, you know, he's like, never make it personal. And in this movie, I'm like, okay, I know you're trying to justify it. Like, oh, they're scamming people. It's like, but this is definitely personal. You could probably find a lot of people scamming people, but you're going after these people because they screwed you over.
Right.
Although it was a little weird because, again, he is a main character. So usually in the traps, it's just the little puppet. But here, he's just showing them his face. He's like hanging out with them. He's like talking to them directly. And then like, I get at this point, I think they know John Kramer is the killer. But then you get like Amanda and even the detective at the little tag at the end, not wearing a mask or anything. It's like, well, what if they survive? They're going to be able to find you. So I thought that was a little odd. You're right. The ending was a bit of a letdown when it comes to the one character. But overall, I think it's one of the better Saw movies. De-aging aside, the age difference aside, I think it was pretty solid. Any last words about Saw X, Gil?
I did think making him the protagonist does have a weird side effect of making this movie not really a horror. It turns it more into this weird revenge thriller.
Yeah.
Because the first one, there's a mystery of why are these people locked up here? What did they do wrong? Are they actually horrible people who deserve this? Here, right from the beginning, we know these people are awful, and it's literally just him getting revenge on them. It was really strange.
Yeah, it felt almost more like a Taken movie where he has a unique set of skills. So he's trying to take out the scammers.
Oh my God, it is like Taken now that I think about it.
It's just Taken, yeah.
Or like John Wick, we fucked
exactly.
the wrong guy.
Yeah, exactly.
There was that one part I laughed so hard because my brothers and I recently have gotten very into scam baiting YouTube videos. Have you guys ever gone down that rabbit hole?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love
And
those.
it's always like you have to go buy gift cards. And so we're like, he's getting scammed, and we were making jokes about it. And then he goes and buys a gift card. We were all laughing so hard.
Yeah, they kind of make him a dipshit, don't they?
Joey, what's your final thought?
I enjoyed it. Scared me. Didn't sleep for days.
Wow.
Fuck?
Weird.
Very,
You're the manly one.
very-
Are you okay?
No, I am fine. It was, you see, my very beautiful wife couldn't sleep because she also watched it.
You're married. You're married to Grimace.
I feel like he's losing the plot.
No, she's over there. Honey, I'll be right there. I'm on here. Get the lawnmower ready.
Congratulations, Joey, for getting married and not inviting me to the wedding. I would have preferred to have been there. Adam, what's your final thought on Saw X?
I enjoyed Saw X, Saw 10. It's probably my third favorite Saw film out of the
third one you've
Saw
seen.
films I've seen. But I think they're fun. They're fun watches. Those ones. I did see part of one that had a bunch of pigs getting slaughtered. I don't know where that was at in the timeline.
Oh, that was 3. That was 3.
Was that 3? Oh,
there was like a bunch of dead pigs. Yeah,
I saw part of that one.
Yeah. I will say, it's interesting they circle back to John because Jigsaw 2017 like introduced a new killer who was another like apprentice of Jigsaw who like I guess the other ones didn't know about. So I'm like, oh, I guess he'll be the new killer. And then Spiral introduced the idea that there are going to now be copycats that don't even know John. Like they know Jigsaw, but they had no relationship to him. So you can keep this franchise going forever. It'll just be like, I have a bone to pick with you, and I like what this dead guy did, so I'm just going to steal his shtick. So I thought it was interesting they circled back to John Kramer when it looks like they were trying to go in a new direction. They eventually have to go in that new direction because he's not getting any younger. But yeah, that was it for Saw X. Let's take a mini break here and look at some super chats. Why don't we? Let's go get your super chats in here now.
Yeah, come talk to me.
Man, I really missed doing this wrap up. Did you guys miss it? I missed it.
Oh, I felt empty last month. I just hung out with Grimace all month.
Weird.
I bought him a new hat.
I was
almost
holding
thought
out
there was
hope
nothing
that
else to
Thursday
live
night.
for.
People kept trying to make plans with me, and I'm like, no, it might still happen.
It's gonna happen. I promise.
Yes.
I neglected my wife and children. I just had the phone sitting next to me waiting for the call, and it never came.
It's like
Okay.
every time I film with Tony.
Oh, $20 from Fior.
Hey!
Best girl Crystal Quinn up in here tonight. More famous than Tony. She deserves all the love. Have her in more reviews since it's Crystal Month. No,
It's been Crystal Month for like the past 2 months.
no. Italian Heritage Month and Crystal Month cannot be the same.
It can be November because it's my birthday.
No.
November 5th, bitches.
Alon for 99 cents says nothing.
Beautiful. Let's say nothing.
Somebody's a fan of what was that movie where no one talked?
Oh, no one will say.
Oh, no, yeah.
Well,
You almost nailed it.
Damn
You
it.
spoke too soon because Alon again for $1.99 saying this is for a new mic. I do need to
Beautiful.
get like what you guys have.
Well, that's how much they cost. $3.
That's my brother, by the way. So he's draining the one take bank account right now.
Oh, that's
Sending all the super chats.
I need.
Come
Well,
on,
Gil,
stop.
Gil, you have like a nice Shure mic, right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, I need to get that. That's the one to get. I was on a budget when I got this one, but I need to get a better one. The one in Dennis, who's actually in the lobby right now for the patron segment, Mommy Milkers.
Mommy Milkers,
And
baby.
he's attributed that quote to Joey C.
That's right. Every monthly wrap up. Fantastic. Mommy Milkers today, Daddy Dilkers tomorrow. All righty.
Daddy Dilkers.
Adam,
I
Gil.
love
What does that
it.
even
Adam,
mean?
Gil, I have a question for the two of you. How many super chats do you get with the words Mommy Milkers in them?
Well, that's a big 0 for me. That's a big egg.
Yeah.
What
Waiting
about you,
for it
Gil?
still.
What does the guillotine community give you for super?
Oh, is that what your fans are called? The guillotines?
Guillotine.
Now they are.
Well,
Well, ours are the hack-offs. Adam, what are your fans called?
I don't have any fans.
Joey, do you have a name yet?
Yeah, it's Joey C. I have fans, man.
Okay.
Ask his
Yeah.
wife.
Next up, Michael for $1.99. Okay, he used no spaces.
Good.
Right.
Which supernatural gods would you be afraid? ? Fiction or non?
I think he means which supernatural Gus would you be afraid of?
Oh, yes, of course.
Yeah.
Oh God, Gus Fring,
Yep,
the
Gus
zombie
Fring.
Gus Fring from Breaking Bad.
Bad.
I guess supernatural ghost you would be afraid of.
I
don't know,
would
that's-
say, I don't know, probably the nun, but she's hot as hell. So I would.
That's a
just-
demon, Joey.
Oh, you're
Wow.
right. All right, you're right.
Those movies make it very clear, you asshole.
I can't believe it. I'm fired.
I was gonna say the Grudge mom. She always creeped me out the most. Yeah.
The girls from
Okay.
The Shining, creepy kids.
Yeah.
nothing
fuck
creepy.
those
Yeah.
kids.
The twin. You think twins are creepy?
Children are creepy.
Wow. Why do you hate my twin nieces,
Wow,
Gil?
yeah, wow. Tell it to my kids. That's nice.
Wow. Off the show. Kicking Gil off the show. No, I'm kidding.
Wow, yeah, the guillotines
Actually-
are going to come after you.
String
My what you call it? My sister can't wait until the twins are a few years older and have long hair because she's gonna make them the Shining twins for Halloween one year.
That's why she's not doing it like every year.
Okay, AJ Wizzle for 10 Looney Tunes dollars.
Every time.
Tony, it's good to have you back. There's a great atmosphere in the chat. I'm pretty sure that's a reference to Joey and Adam shitting on me before it went live.
No, man.
However, on behalf of the Tony supporter community, can I apologize for the harassment you received from fans at Universal? Okay, AJ, that wasn't harassment. That was just a fan that recognized me.
What happened?
It's on X. Check it out later. He wasn't harassing me. AJ's very protective of me. But no, that was just a nice fan. Ryan Powell, aka Ren on the Shaved. Here, Tony, go invest in a better microphone. The Freddy vs. Jason episode was cool, by the way.
Yeah,
I
it
think it
was.
was. One of the guests was really good on that episode, and I mean, we all love Joe.
I do love
Hi, Crystal.
Joe. It's okay.
I'm not even gonna pronounce that. Does anyone know how the hell to pronounce that?
Gurkipiticus. Gurkipiticus.
Great penis. Fall of Usher had a great version of death. I don't think there's ever been a bad version of the Reaper, but so many bad Draculas, Frankensteins. I haven't watched Fall of the House of Usher yet.
I did. I thought it was really good.
That was good.
I usually like his stuff, so I am going to check it out. The best Grim Reaper is from Monty Python's The Meaning of Life, and I think we can all agree on that. Ninja for $1.99. Sexy hat grimace is killing your microphone.
Oh yeah.
Why? I just don't like that grimace. It really creeps me out.
It's beautiful, dude. It stares at me. It's fantastic.
Is that like an official one?
Yeah, it's an official one from a McDonald's.
What's going on in the pelvic region? Is there like
That's
a
what I'm
hole down
looking at. I
there?
can't stop
or
staring at
what's
that.
going
It's
You
on?
know what,
His
folks?
foot.
Let me give you a close.
No,
look.
No,
it.
God,
Oh,
no.
no.
Okay, while you're doing
Hollowed
that,
out for something? What's
Just get rid of his hat.
hold
here,
on.
folks.
he's not banging
Why
that
does it
thing, is
look
he?
like a?
Now there is a hole, but that hole is for something else. That's
Yeah.
where I.
There it is.
But this is Grimace. Hey, babe. I mean, not babe. That was I misspoke.
Okay. Dark Room Reviews sent a super sticker. It doesn't show up in StreamYard, but
Oh.
it is an orange cat waving back and forth.
Oh.
Hello.
Fucking another comment about Grimace. Grimace
Grimace is
is
killing it.
grimacing. Like when you sneak into someone's room and see some particularly unsavory romance movies up on their screen. What?
Yeah. We've all
What
been
the-
there.
I agree. I
Yeah,
agree on
fuck
that.
yeah.
AJ Whistle
All
got it.
been there.
Yeah.
You know, why can't these super chats ever just be, you look nice today, Tony? Richard O'Brien says, is Tony more famous than Joey C as Manly? Oof.
That's a tough race. That's a tough race. I don't know.
And Gil's brother says, please give my super chat to Gil so he can pay me back. And he spelled give and back wrong.
At least he has spaces.
At least there's space.
Yeah.
And then we got the flail who says, Daddy Dilkers.
Daddy
question.
Dilkers.
I
baby.
love Daddy Dilkers.
I
Yes.
agree. Very manly.
Very manly.
Fucking fans. Okay. Get those super chats in, baby. Next up, VHS 85. This is, oh God, I don't even know what number VHS film this is now.
5?
No. So 3, 94, 99. This would be 6, I think.
Four.
I really like the series. I was a little late to the game on these. But they are fun anthology horror films. They're found footage for the most part, but sometimes they kind of bend the rules here and there. Yeah, and this one felt fresher than some of the newer ones. Gil, what are your thoughts on the VHS franchise?
I love
And
the
how does
VHS.
this hold up?
Yeah, I love the VHS franchise. I'm a huge sucker for found footage. The whole gimmick of, because it's a home video camera, it feels like it's happening to real people. That gimmick has not worn off on me at all, except when they have to figure out how to justify that they won't put the camera down when things are becoming almost lethal. This was not my favorite VHS movie. I will say that it definitely had me engaged the entire time, but almost every segment left me a little bit unsatisfied, because if you take the first one, for example, for most of it, it's pretty grounded. The people on a boat, people getting shot at, but because it's VHS, I know something weird is going to happen. Then the weird thing happens and it's over. And it felt repetitive, where each segment was like, okay, where's the weird thing? Buildings collapsing. I know something weird's going to happen. It comes back, right?
Yeah, that was like the first time in the series where like a later segment is connected. I thought that
which was cool. I was excited when I realized they were connected, but then I felt like it was essentially the same pattern again. I'm waiting for the weird thing to happen. And this time it was sort of cheesy, where it's like, we have the tradition, and it's like everybody being recorded is almost self-aware that they're in a movie, so they want to keep hinting at it. So I just kept feeling like I was going through, what's the weird thing going to be? Oh, here it is. It kills everybody. Okay, next segment. And even the interstitials, I thought this time, were more interesting than usual. There was actually a story to it. And I'm like, where is this going? And they keep doing the talking heads thing of like, and then what happened at the end was horrible. And I'm like, what happened? Oh, exactly the same as what happens in every segment. So I know I'm sounding really negative. I did enjoy watching it, but it just left me less satisfied than other VHS movies. And I didn't think there were any that were as creative as, like, The Subject was one I really loved. The one where they go into the cult house and things start to go crazy. Like, those are
that was good.
That
That was good. Joey, what did you think?
Big fan of VHS. The whole series is fantastic. Big found footage fan. Blair Witch Project, one of my favorite movies. I dig that, like, this one in particular has 5. So if this was like one cohesive story, it probably wouldn't be that good. I feel like it would get stale very quickly because there's a lot of cliches in found footage. But this is an easy watch. You know, I had it on casually in the background. Rory's story was like especially awesome, and I laughed out loud at the ending.
Yeah,
this
I
is
wasn't
really
ready for
great.
that, and that I should have been, but yeah.
Yeah, it's awesome, man.
That was
I love
Rory
VHS.
was the one that's throughout the film, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. How it
Yeah.
ends. Adam, what did you think of VHS?
The original I really liked. I thought it was kind of creepy. I didn't see this one.
I was looking at you, and I'm like, I bet you Adam hasn't watched this.
What the? Sorry. I'm trying over here to send you super chats, and my comments are not showing up. So I'm getting a little.
Why are you sending super?
I'm getting a little annoyed at you.
Wait. They might be showing up on YouTube.
Oh, is that
But
what
He
not-
signed in under another account.
No,
Boris
okay,
Amber
well,
is
that's-
so
No, I
good.
did not, Gil. No, I did not.
So great. I'm gonna have to look for those when the time comes. Thanks.
Well, please do. Please do. And I can tell you what they said since it didn't come through.
Oh my God! Sorry. YouTube update. There's a fan funding tab for the chat, so you can only see super chats.
Yeah.
Is that new?
No.
Yeah. I think so. I saw it
Which
posted
one
about
is
it on the homepage. It was like new fan tab.
Okay. Crystal, what did you think of VHS 85?
I watched it with my
Get it
mom.
closer.
Okay, hey, Tony.
Don't bump the mic.
You can't do anything right. I watched it with my mom. I think I would have enjoyed it a little bit more if she didn't hate on it the entire film. The entire time, she's like, "This is dumb. This is stupid. Oh my God, the acting's so bad. This is horrible." Like the entire time, and I was like, "You're not wrong." But if I was watching myself or was more in that schlocky kind of mood, I would have enjoyed it more. But I think I was more in I wanted something a little bit more realistic. Like the first segment, like the acting was just so bad. It really was bad.
Mm.
But I did also enjoy the cult house. That I enjoyed that story.
Okay.
And the alien one, like, or whatever the hell. What was it, Roy or whatever?
The
thing
Roy.
majigger.
Yeah.
It was interesting, but I wanted to see more of it. But the pacing of it was also slow to me.
I will say, I enjoy this one. Like I said, I enjoy most of them. I know a lot of people shit on Viral, but even VHS Viral is not that bad.
Yeah, I dug it.
It's probably the weakest of them. What I like about this is, okay, so I like the other VHS films, but they all kind of broke the whole aspect ratio thing. Like, I think there's a lot where I'm just like, well, you wouldn't have a widescreen VHS cat. Like, that doesn't make sense. So this one, like, was a little bit more strict about the aspect ratio until like the end, but there was a good reason for that. Yeah, this one felt fresh. I had a really good time with it. I will say the Scott Derrickson one at the very end, the very last segment. So you guys have seen Sinister, right?
Yep.
Adam, have you seen Sinister?
I've seen Sinister, yeah. Ethan Hawke?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so Sinister, you like the found footage stuff in that, right? Like when they show like, yeah. And then the movie kind of gets ruined when the bad guy is just Slipknot.
No. Wait, am I
Yeah,
sure
no,
that-
Sinister gets ruined with that dumb demon. So there is a segment in here where Scott Derrickson, the director of Sinister and Doctor Strange and a bunch of other movies, he like, it's funny, he's like, you know what? People are right. The creepy found footage POV stuff was the best part of that movie. So he kind of like redoes that idea in this and comes up with a new plot device for why it's happening. I love that whole sequence where the guy's like dreaming about the murders before they happen. I thought that was cool. I don't know if you guys like that one.
I fucking loved it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I usually have a blind spot for acting. Like I don't usually notice if acting is bad or good for me, unless it's like absolutely atrocious. And for some reason, that segment, maybe only because it tried to go to some more emotional highs where there were some like father-son confrontations and stuff, it felt cheesier to me for some reason than the other ones.
Nah.
But it was one of the more intriguing ones, I would say. Like as to my complaint before, where I'm waiting for something to happen, this is one that from the start you're like, what's going on here? This is intriguing.
Yeah. I would actually, so a couple of these segments from previous VHSs were turned into their own films. Like Siren was one of them. And then Kids versus Aliens was based off the Alien Invasion one from VHS 2. They made that into its own movie.
Whoa.
So
I
that
didn't
last
know
segment,
that.
yeah, I would like to see Scott Derrickson like do that last segment again as like a feature length. I thought that would be really cool. But yeah,
What about the artsy? I hated most of the artsy. Was it the performance art?
oh, the
thing?
girl who's doing like a one woman
I
show.
hated it until she got into that world, and I was like, I want to see more of this.
Yeah,
Like,
I
it's-
did.
That was interesting.
I also like.
love that.
I also like the CGI Tron demon. I thought that thing was really cool
The fact
because it
that
looks
all-
like something that would have been around that time.
Yeah.
But yeah, the two segments that were connected, I thought that was real interesting. It'd be cool to see more of that, and the connecting story was a lot of fun too. Although they've kind of thrown out like, why are people playing these tapes? Like that documentary had nothing to do with the other tapes. They're just like, fuck it, who cares
There's just
anymore?
somebody recorded over it, right? So it's just playing
Yeah.
in between.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like the last one, the whole Medusa story, I think was the one that was tying everything together. And it's like, is he watching these? None of these make sense. So yeah, that was VHS 85. I highly recommend it.
Highly.
I think Adam should watch all the VHS films.
How many are there?
In a row.
I think there's
6.
like 5 or 6.
Ooh, that might be 4 too many for me.
Well, you never know. A lot of these directors end up like, I think the guy who did the haunted house one in the first film, I think those guys ended up doing like the new Scream movie. So you get to see celebrated directors and up and coming directors in these films.
Well, I did.
So-
I mean, again, I really like the first one, so I probably should
Yeah.
just check out some of the others.
At least check out 2. 2 is pretty strong.
Okay.
Okay. Next, Suburban Screams. Peacock's original John Carpenter Suburban Screams. Who got a chance to check this one out?
Oh, yeah, baby.
I can just leave if you want. I haven't seen these last couple.
Adam just shows up. He's like, I haven't seen a single one of these movies.
Okay.
I think there's only 2 on the list. Oh no, I didn't see Chucky either. I saw the one after Chucky, I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so Suburban Screams, it's basically unsolved mysteries or a show that's like that. And it's all about like either like ghost stories or true crime that takes place in a suburban setting. They're all based off true stories, as true as ghost stuff can be. But yeah, I was interested because John Carpenter's name was attached to it. Obviously, I wanted to check it out, and I do like a lot of those older shows, like Unsolved Mysteries,
Oh yeah.
Sightings, like Forensic Files and whatnot. And I know they brought Forensic Files and Unsolved Mysteries back recently, but without the original like hosts, it kind of loses something. Are you okay?
Adam,
What the fuck, Adam? Adam.
I could not hold
I'm
that.
bored. I'm bored. Just
Adam,
stop.
is that,
God, leave me
so
alone.
Adam has decided to put Grimace on his TV in the background. Anyway,
I like it.
those reboots didn't have the original host, which didn't make them feel like the same show. But this show doesn't have a host other than John Carpenter narrating the opening intro. And he actually directed the last episode. And this is how he directed.
Directed.
Right
They
from the
shot in
scout.
another country and they set up monitors and stuff. And he
love
just
it.
didn't leave his living room. He's like, fine, I'll direct it. But I'm going to direct it from my living room.
The future's amazing.
And you know what? What a legend. What a
Awesome.
bloody legend. So Gil, what did you think of this show?
I thought it was exactly as advertised, right? It's true story crimes, not all of them supernatural, which surprised me. Some of them are just straight up horrible people doing horrible things with reenactments and everything.
Yeah.
The only thing I'd say is I wish you would feel the influence of John Carpenter more.
Yeah.
Some of his score gets in there, which is cool. But yeah, if you could have just felt more the John Carpenter vibe, I think that would have been cool. But otherwise, I think as you described, if you're looking for the true crime, if that's what you're into, then I think this will deliver.
Yeah. Gil, what did you think?
Well,
I mean,
Tony,
no,
I
Gil,
think it was
sorry.
pretty-
Joey.
I was waiting for it.
Gil, you should have just said the same thing over and over again. Well, I just keep asking you the question. All right, Joey, what did you think?
It's a mixed bag, man. I like it. It's the horror of suburbia, which is kind of like a nice little niche in horror. that I enjoy watching. I feel like it's a nice balance between like real life tales and like cinematic drama. And there were a few moments in here that genuinely scared me. I only watched a couple of episodes, but I'm looking forward to finishing it. All in all, I dug it. It was a fun ride.
What did you think, Crystal?
About 3 hours ago, I watched the first episode. I had no idea what it was about. No idea what kind of show this was.
Oh, you didn't know?
No idea.
Oh, I thought I told you. All right.
Nope, you don't tell me shit. So the John Carpenter, like I saw John Carpenter's name. I saw the word Scream in it. I'm like, I'm going to fucking love this. I'm a huge fan of Unsolved Mystery, like all those types of shows, and how beautifully it was shot. It has that horror aspect to it. I watched the first episode. I fell in love with it. It was like perfect pacing between the person speaking and the reenactments. The way it was shot, it didn't take you completely out with how it was lit for either one. I cannot wait to watch the rest.
Yeah, I know there were people who were talking about the acting being really subpar and cheesy. But again, as someone who grew up with Unsolved Mysteries and whatnot, I kind of like that. I'm like, no, I'm actually enjoying that part of it. That part is actually fun for me. It actually, it does look like a really good show. It's shot really nicely. There are some digital skylines and digital sky replacements that are very noticeable. But one thing I want to praise about it, it's not even the John Carpenter episode, the Bunny Man episode. Now, this is like an actual legend. There was like a guy who killed people, like 100 years ago, who dressed like a bunny, and then there was like a few copycats, and this episode told that story. There are actually multiple movies based off this Bunny Man killer. Really? There's like a trilogy. What? There's another one called Easter Bunny Massacre where there's bunny mask wearing killers, and they are god awful. This one episode, and for some reason I've watched these pieces of shit. This episode is better than any of the other Bunny Man murder movies I've ever seen, which wasn't that hard to pull off, by the way. I'm actually shocked it took this long to make this idea interesting. But yeah, if you guys were to watch this out, because it's a different story each time, you don't have to watch it in order. I would highly recommend the Bunny Man episode, and then of course the John Carpenter episode about the stalker. I thought that was pretty cool. But overall, I really enjoyed Suburban Scream. John Carpenter's Suburban Screams. This is a good show for like a mom. I feel like my mom would love this show because she's into ghosts and true crime. So yeah.
After watching reruns of Jag, she can fire this bad boy up. CSI Florida or whatever the fuck they're doing now.
Does anyone watch the new Unsolved Mysteries? I kind of feel bad because I have a friend who works on it and I haven't watched a single episode.
I didn't even know they were doing that.
Yeah. They're just not as, maybe it's just nostalgia.
Without Robert Stack, and he wasn't even the only host of Unsolved Mysteries, but without Robert Stack, it's like when they brought back Forensic Files. It's like, no, you can't get the original voice actor. He's dead. But you kind of need that voice actor to make that show work. But yeah, I recommend Suburban Screams. Next up. Okay, did anyone watch Chucky?
Oh, yeah.
You watched this season?
This season.
Thank you, Joey, because I don't think anyone else did.
I got you.
Okay, I really enjoyed the Chucky show. So the Chucky show, for those of you who don't know, Gil or Adam, this is continuing the storyline from all the movies, including the 2 new direct-to-video ones, minus the remake. Don Mancini, the creator of Chucky, is like in charge of the show. And it's kind of interesting. You actually asked the question, Crystal, in the Freddy vs. Jason episode, like, or Halloween 3, you were like, is there a horror franchise that's like one long continuing story? And yeah, it's Chucky.
It's Chucky.
Yep.
He's constantly finding ways to make it feel fresh. The show is more violent than the movies, which you wouldn't believe for a TV show on basic cable, but it is way more violent than any of the movies. They're having a lot of fun with it. And this season, the first season, he was in a suburban town up to shenanigans. The second season, he was up to more shenanigans at a Christian school. And now he's in the White House. This season is still airing. It's about to go on its mid-season break. But overall, I'm really loving the season. Joey, how do you feel about it?
Yeah, it's awesome. I have a lot of Chucky lore to catch up on, and I would definitely recommend watching the first 2 seasons before you watch this because you're gonna fucking be super confused. It seems like they really cared for like the continued continuity of Chucky. Like they weren't out to just make like a cash grab or like just a random slasher. Really dug the flashbacks and the prequel material that really satisfies like old school Chucky fans. All the bad reviews on it were so funny because I saw a bunch of bad reviews on Twitter because of a gay main character, but
Yeah.
I knew going in, I was like, all right, this is gonna be a little spicy. Let's see what happens. But I was shocked at how suspenseful and exciting this show was.
Yeah.
And it
I
seems
do
that other people are enjoying it too.
Yeah, I do like that they're expanding on the lore. Like this season, Chucky the doll is aging, and he's run out of other dolls to go into. So he goes to a witch doctor, but it's just a regular office, and the witch doctor just looks like a regular doctor. And he's like, "You're not what I was expecting." He's like, "Oh, should I get my goat or whatever?" Yeah. It's like, no, we're up to date with the times. So throughout these 3 seasons, Devon Sawa, the actor Devon Sawa, has played like 5 characters. The show likes to reuse actors as different characters, and now he's the president.
Is Devon Sawa the guy? Is he from Final Destination?
Yes.
Okay, that's so funny. I just watched Final Destination with my son, and I'm like, who the Devon Sawa? What has he been doing? Like, I remember him.
He's been in Chucky.
He's been doing horror conventions.
Now I know.
Every horror convention he's been at.
He literally plays, what is it? He's twins in the first season, and then he's the priest in the second season. Yeah. Now he's the president.
But he also tweets at this, like he tweets at Chucky.
Yeah,
it's absolutely hilarious.
Nice.
So I love Chucky's story, but I've been enjoying the last 2 seasons. Tiffany/Jennifer Tilly storyline. So Adam, are you familiar with the Chucky movies?
I'm familiar with the Chucky trailers. I've seen the first Child Play and like bits and pieces. I'm not like a horror guru, you know.
Okay. Yeah. Gil, have you seen any of the movies?
No.
Wow.
I haven't seen them.
Wow.
Yeah.
I saw the new one too.
Like,
huh?
I had to stop myself because I get really obsessive. And so you had this on the list. And I was like, okay, between now and Thursday, I'm going to watch all 7 movies, the 2 seasons. And I had to like force myself to say, no.
You know what? This would be a good, like what you do with the MCU, like whenever the show ends, because you've got a bunch of stories from the 80s. And like Joey said, this show does flash back to like before the first movie start. So you could make a whole timeline.
I really want to catch up on it. I think that's so cool that they've kept the continuity, especially for horror. They always toss stuff out. So
do you guys say the Child's Play movies are actually good and worth watching? Because from my experience, when it comes to horror movies, when you've seen one, I Know What You Did Last Summer or Saw, or, you know, like pick a movie, they're pretty much all terrible after or like mediocre, you know, except for Scream. Scream holds up pretty well.
Child's Play 2 is probably one of the best slasher sequels ever.
Yeah. Okay.
3 was weak. 4 was fun. Seed of Chucky was pretty good too.
Bride of Chucky's one of my favorites.
Yeah, the first
Bride of Chucky is great.
The first direct-to-video one, Curse of Chucky, they were trying to get back to the horror roots. Everyone really hated Cult of Chucky, but when you view it as a pilot into this TV show, it's actually pretty awesome.
Yeah,
because it led to an amazing TV show. I'd say try it out. But the funny thing was, in Seed of Chucky, Jennifer Tilly plays herself and also Tiffany the doll. And how that movie ended was that she like got rid of Jennifer Tilly and took over her body. And for like 20 years now, or 18 years, people were like, well, what happened to Jennifer Tilly? And the show finally answers that question. So yeah, it's a really good time.
Wait, Jennifer Tilly plays like Jennifer Tilly, like Larry David plays himself on Curb Your Enthusiasm? That's what she does? Or is she playing
in Seed of Chucky? In Seed of Chucky, they go to Hollywood. And Tiffany,
oh my God, that's funny.
Tiffany, who's played by Jennifer Tilly, sees the real Jennifer Tilly and is like, "I want to be Jennifer Tilly." So she uses voodoo to go into her, and then so that was the big thing because she showed up in the later movies briefly, but the show revealed that Tiffany has just been pretending to be Jennifer Tilly since 2006.
Wow,
and they have a whole episode where her real life sister Meg Tilly is like, "Jennifer, you've been so weird ever since you did that one movie. What's wrong with you?" It's a good time. It's a good time. I highly recommend the show. Okay, next on the list. Okay, here we go. So last year I did a video called Why We Don't Need an Exorcist Reboot. And it was basically like, hey, they're going to bring Ray, like they're going to continue this Reagan and Chris McNeil story from the first one. And I told everyone they already did this on the Exorcist TV show, which was very well done, was a very, very good, underrated show. So I wasn't really excited for this new Exorcist reboot, but I went in with an open mind.
Mhm.
I really like David Gordon Green's first Halloween movie.
Mhm.
I know you hate Kills. I enjoy Kills as a dumb fun movie.
Mhm.
We were kind of split on Ends. You hated Ends.
Yeah.
I appreciated what Ends was trying to do.
No.
I'm with you, Tony. I'm with
Yeah.
you.
I appreciate what it was trying to do.
I
It
was
fumbled it
wrong
at the
for-
end and it didn't fully commit.
Mhm.
So I went in with an open mind to The Exorcist Believer. And I saw it the other night. I had part of the movie spoiled because I went on the Halloween Horror Nights maze, which just takes you through parts of the movie.
Exorcist dies tonight.
Yeah, and I will say the Halloween Horror Nights Exorcist maze, that genuinely, I know I made a joke earlier, but that genuinely was the one that scared me the most. So I was like, okay, maybe this will be good. Exorcist Believer sucks.
Whoa.
Gil, what did you think?
Oh, this is so awkward. I thought it was better than the original. How
What
do you
the
improve on what? Well, it's got 2 exorcisms. How do you improve on 1 exorcism? I mean, I heard the reviews. I went in expecting something atrocious.
Yeah.
I thought this was not atrocious, but really bad.
Yeah.
I did actually think the first half was solid.
Mhm.
They did a good job establishing the characters, the relationship between Angela and her dad. Felt
Yeah.
very real. It wasn't idealistically perfect, wasn't cynically horrible. I thought it hit the sweet spot. When they brought the 2 girls back and they were doing the medical exams on them, I think one of the things that worked really well in the original Exorcist is you see every step of the process. It's very detailed. This did that too. So it felt real and grounded. But halfway through, I thought the movie completely fell apart. When they brought Ellen Burstyn back, it
Yes.
was like an SNL sketch.
God, it was
Or
so
if you
bad.
were to do
Yeah.
a new scary movie, this is what they would do. They'd be like, I know someone who's been through this before. So bring back the legacy character as
Bring her in.
efficiently as possible, establish that they have completely screwed up their life in some way or alienated themselves from one of their close friends, in this case, her daughter. And then after that, she's out of the movie so quickly. It's, like I said, it feels like parody. And why was she in there? It felt like an extra step. Like point A, possession. Point B, do an exorcism. But they just add this extra step in between so she can give that monologue about people and how people have to come together. And there were 2 or 3 monologues like that in the movie that felt very cheesy and inorganic. And then the last thing I'll say is that in the exorcism itself, it's a room full of people that we don't really care about. I think the one person we've connected with is Angela's dad. And for most of the exorcism, it's just him looking concerned, him talking to her occasionally. So, and the other thing is there's 2 girls that are possessed, but we spend a lot of time with Angela. The other girl, I feel like we barely see her for most of the movie. So then when we check in on her occasionally, it feels like you're joining this other movie that's in progress that you haven't been watching. And I also felt like her family was almost set up cartoonishly awful. Like you knew her dad was going to be useless by the end. So I thought I had a solid first half, and then I felt like the second half was just really bad.
Yeah. What did you think, Joey? I agree pretty much with everything Gil said, but Joey, what do
Yeah,
you think?
same. I think my biggest complaint was that there's too many characters and not enough development. And I didn't have an emotional connection with literally anybody. And again, the nun and the demon thing is so oversaturated. So, like, don't have too high expectations. It didn't feel anything new, like kids fooling around with supernatural shit. And I mean, besides that, it was decent. I do think it fell apart in the second half. There were people actually laughing in the theaters, which kind of made it a bit fun. There were a few jump scares that I'm not saying they scared me per se, but they got me going a little bit. But it was still pretty okay. It was nothing fresh, but still decently fun, I guess.
Yeah. Adam, how about you?
I don't know if my cold heart has just been softened or warmed up in the last few years, but I've been kind of enjoying myself with the movies lately. The Exorcist, Justin Bieber was like fully mediocre across the board. I didn't think it was horrible. I think One Take gilled it with his comments. I agree. I thought the first half
Gil, are you writing these puns down? You got to use these.
I thought the first half was good. I liked the flashback with the mom dying as she's giving birth, and I thought the dad like being a horror. Can we talk about how the dad is kind of a lovable guy, but he's terrible at manners? He's at that high school blocking that fucking bus lane.
Oh God, that was driving me nuts.
I was getting triggered. I'm like, dude, move. You are the bad guy here, and not putting his garbage can up out of spite. Move
How dare you?
Can. Come on.
And Dowd kept yelling at him for it.
No, she wasn't even being that crass or mean. He just was.
Yeah.
Anyway, besides that, he was a fine protagonist. I thought the girls did a really good job. I was concerned for them until they got really annoying at the end and they were doing the Exorcist stuff. Then I was like, this isn't scary. It's just kind of tedious and, whatever, arbitrary. And like Gil said, the inclusion of the original actress was so bad. It felt so forced. And this movie, you just know, let's maybe not try to build universes or build trilogies. Let's just focus on making one really good movie and then see how it sticks. And you can tell David is just trying for that new Halloween trilogy and he's holding everything back. Like, dude, nothing
Universal,
really
Universal spent $400 million on just securing the rights.
Oh
to
yeah,
the Exorcist.
yeah. No, this is not going anywhere unless it bombs. But
I mean, I don't know if it bombed. I mean, it probably made its horror usually makes its budget back. I guess
it's now apparently it's now streaming.
I mean, that's every movie these days.
Yeah.
So, what did you think?
I didn't say it.
Okay,
but I do want to say I'm obsessed with the original one. So, gentlemen, is it a complete do not watch? Is it watch it and be sad? Is it
it's just skip? Watch the TV show. Skip this.
Just completely skip this.
Yes.
Don't even bother wasting time.
The
time wasters.
The TV show was a better continuation of that story. It was more original. It knew when to call back to things appropriately. You're right. The beginning of this, I'm like, this could just be a different demon possession movie. Sure, call it The Exorcist. They don't all have to be connected, I guess. But yeah, as soon as they bring in Chris McNeil, Ellen Burstyn's character, it just goes to shit because her character doesn't even really make sense to bring.
But she's a dipshit in it too. She goes in the room. She's like, I know how to handle this girl, and like instantly she's bodied. It's just
there's
ridiculous.
not even oh yeah, they stab her eyes. Spoiler.
No, instantly.
They don't even. So I'll talk about the demon in a minute, but this isn't the same demon who possessed Reagan. And I thought maybe that would be a fun twist because she's like, I know who you are, and be like, oh no, you weren't ready for this one.
The twist that was actually cool was that both girls are connected and they're both possessed, but they don't do anything with it. Like there's that one shot where they're looking across the little hospital wings at each other and they put their hands up.
Yeah.
Like, oh, we're gonna do some cool things. And they have the scene in the trailer where she's like, their hearts are beating in sync. The lady from
you delivered it the same way.
I love that actress. She's from Handmaid's Tale. She's just so dry.
They don't do anything with that though.
No.
I thought that's what the movie's about.
Leads into like the finale. It's stupid.
Well, it's in the trailer they go, you have to pick one.
Yeah.
But that is the only reason they bring in two girls, so there's the difficult choice.
Which is
but
play with that.
I don't know.
There's so much.
They could have done more cool shit. But yeah, there's no reason to bring her back. Part of me is like, okay, maybe you could have brought Reagan back, but they say at the end of the first movie that she doesn't remember anything, unless they consider the second movie canon. She could be like, well, look, I don't remember that first exorcism, but that second one with the weird dream machine, I remember that one pretty well. I remember that one. But yeah, so Reagan would make more sense, but not really. Like they just had to shoehorn someone from the original.
Crystal, did you see the Pope's Exorcist?
No, I hear that's fun though.
That one's fun. I thought that was just schlocky, good time. Yeah.
Well, here's the thing, like Gil said with like the first Exorcist, how there's like you see every step of the process from like the medical stuff to getting the exorcism approved, but also scary stuff is happening.
Yes.
Not a lot of scary stuff happens in this film. The scariest part in the film is just ripped off from Insidious, where you see the demon behind. You see the demon behind the dad for like a second, like that famous shot from Insidious with the red demon. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
I hate Insidious.
I thought you liked it.
No,
I thought you liked the movie.
we literally talked about how much I hated them.
No, I know you hated the new one. I thought you liked the other ones. Okay, anyway.
Wait, is Insidious the one you brought up a little while back?
Yeah, with the red and black.
Okay, and what did
Demon.
you say the character looked like?
Darth
No, that
Maul.
was Sinister, right?
Yeah, you didn't say Darth Maul
No.
before.
Oh, no. Sinister was a different one. Yeah. That was the one who looked like the guy from
Insidious
Slipknot.
Insidious is the one with Darth Maul. That's
Insidious is the one with Darth Maul.
Yeah.
Sinister is the one with Slipknot.
oh, I guess I forgot the Slipknot reference in that one. Okay, that's what was throwing me when you said that.
Oh, okay.
I think Darth Maul is what he means.
Yeah.
So anyway, yeah, the scariest thing for me was just a ripoff of another movie. But yeah, there's like it's like the girls are being a little weird. But I'm thinking about the first Exorcist. You have like the mom going in the attic and the flame shooting. You have them seeing the demon face. There's like little stuff that happens before the big possession. And here it's like nothing. And it's like they're not doing anything physical. I mean, there is a head spin around, which I thought was
That was cool.
that part I didn't mind. So they're trying multiple different religions to exorcise this demon.
Oh, that's cool.
Because the Catholic priest wasn't allowed to do the exorcism. The church denied him.
Really?
And spoiler, I do like when he comes in and the music gets all hopeful and you think he's going to be the one and then his head spins around and just dies.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, okay. That was the one interesting thing.
Mhm.
But yeah.
They don't take anything from like, it feels like how you're describing it, they would take more from like Exorcist 3 or something.
No,
like
they
that.
do nothing from Exorcist
God
3.
damn.
They just
That's my
don't do
favorite one.
anything in general. It's just
It-
kind of-
Yeah.
It just
there.
becomes
it's just
the
there.
first one. It was like kind of it reminded me of the movie Prisoners, where like
Yeah.
the parents, the two families' daughters get taken away. Way better movie.
I don't get how you guys like The Nun and The Nun 2, but then this movie's just a bridge too far. This feels no worse than Nun 2 to me. In fact, it
Is
seems.
it-
I guess because I have
Completely on
lower
par,
expectations for a nun movie than
I
I do an
agree.
Exorcist
Okay,
movie.
well
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's.
true.
I mean, that's
But also-
fair. It's just after so many Exorcist movies, I don't know how the expectations
Well-
are anything other than.
Well, there's only been
What, there's 3?
no. There's
like of this series.
so no. So Exorcist. There are 4. There's technically 5 movies. The 4th movie, they made it, canned it, remade it, and then years later released the unreleased version. So there's 2 prequels for The Exorcist starring the same actor
Mhm.
that tell different stories. It's
What
a shit
about
show.
Emily Rose? Is that part of the franchise?
That's not part of it.
That's not part of it?
Exorcist 3 though is really good, Adam. If you
Yeah.
ever get a chance to check that out.
Okay.
So, like the
Yeah.
3 Exorcist, the 1, 2, and 3 for me,
Yeah.
I love that. I find it fun.
2 sucks. What are you talking
I
about?
think it's
Oh.
fun.
Oh my god.
Whatever.
James Earl Jones in his grasshopper outfit? Jesus Christ.
Kokumo.
Yeah.
How about this? The first one and the third one are phenomenal. I'll
Yeah.
definitely say that. Absolutely phenomenal. So when you're bringing in this kind of movie, I actually was excited. A lot of people were hating on me for saying like, "Oh, I'm excited about that poster," because the poster
Yeah.
is like, to me,
Mhm.
it's grittier and it's a little bit more raw. And I'm like, yes, that's The Exorcist to me.
Yeah.
And now
Yeah,
hearing what
yeah.
you guys are saying just makes me really
Actually,
sad.
Actually, Adam, have you ever seen Exorcist 3? You said no.
It has the best
Okay,
jump scare. of
So
all
Exorcist
time.
3, just a quick thing. Exorcist 3, they shot the movie. The producers asked them to make a bunch of changes. So the writer from the book directs that one. And it was supposed to be called Legion because that's what the book is called. It is a sequel to The Exorcist, but it was called Legion. And it had no
Also a
exorcism in it.
movie,
Huh?
which is also a different movie.
That is a different movie. But it had no exorcism in it. And then the studio told him, like, you got to put an exorcism in the movie. And he was like, what? So there's this shoehorned exorcism subplot. But I appreciate it because he realized, well, if they're going to force me to do an exorcism, I'm going to do the most batshit insane exorcism. It's insane. This
Out of
final
its fucking
exorcism.
mind. Yeah.
It's
Cool.
like there's like snakes and demons, and George C. Scott is screaming at Brad Dourif. It's like Chucky. Exorcist 3 is a lot of fun. It's very underrated. People didn't see it at the time because 2 is such a piece of shit. And they're like, well, we're not going to waste time with the third one. Fabio is in it. And so is what's his face? Larry King is in it. There's
Yep.
weird cameos in Exorcist 3. You should give it a chance.
Yeah,
But no,
I have
Huh?
like this like bullishness where if a franchise just goes bad instantly, I'm like out. I'm done with the franchise. So like if a Jaws movie gets bad, like Jaws 2 is very mediocre, and then the third one comes out as complete shit, I'm done. I'm out.
Well, again, that's why
all of these are for me. It's like Saw 2, Saw 3, no, fuck that. It's the
that's
same
why
garbage.
the writer-director didn't want to have Exorcist in the title. He's
Yeah.
like, no, the second one was bad. Let's call
Right.
it something else.
Right.
But no, if you talk about a sequel that does something fresh and original, but still builds on its lore, that's Exorcist 3. This is just very generic. It's like, we're just going to do the same shit you've seen before. Hope you enjoy it. I will say in the Halloween Horror Nights maze, they kept showing this demon. And I'm like, is there like a goat demon in the movie? Because that isn't in Exorcist films. Apparently you see this in flashes. I don't have the picture here, but the makeup artist actually on his Instagram showed the full demon. This thing was going to be in the movie. And that's why
the new one?
Yeah, and the new one.
Well, keep in mind, it's a trilogy, most likely.
Oh, I know.
You know it's going to show up at some point.
Yeah, so this thing was supposed to be in the movie. I assume it was going to be a bigger part because they put it in the fucking horror maze. And then you see the movie, and it's just those quick flashes of demons at the end. I think that's the only time you see it.
Is it supposed to be like a reference to the first one with the flashes?
Yeah, but not done well. So yeah, Exorcist Believer was not very good. And that's it for movies. Let's get some fans in here, and then we'll do some super chats and wrap up. Real quick, Logan from Video Villa. We know Logan. He shows up at conventions all the time. Crystal, he's in character.
What?
Can you guess who he's dressed up as?
This makes me so sad.
Hold on.
Crystal,
he's my character Mummy Cop from my old web series, Mummy Cop the series.
I am so disappointing you, Logan. You can make
don't worry. My wife was too, so don't worry.
Logan, I think you look great. Although Mummy Cop's face was green under the bandages, I'll let this slide.
Yeah.
Also, he didn't have he didn't have what are you?
Gauges?
I don't know. Are those earrings or your earphones?
No, that's my gauges. Yeah.
Yeah, no, he didn't have gauges because he didn't have ears. So I'm giving you a 7 out of 10 on the costume. What movies on the list did you see and enjoy?
So I saw The Nun 2. I saw Totally Killer, and shit. What else was the other one?
Exorcist Believer.
No One Will Save You.
No One Will Save. Okay, which one did you like the most out of those?
So The Nun 2, like, to be honest, like I watched the second one first, and then I went back and watched the first one. Because I wasn't really into it or whatever, but I was like, I'll just watch it or whatever. And then I went back and watched the first one, and the first one is just like so much of a better movie.
Yeah.
Like the quality, how it's shot, the scenes are beautiful. There's so much color, and it's not just 100% dark 24/7. And like the practical effects with like the crows eating the nun's face, I think that was just awesome. Yes, what y'all were saying about the second one, I love the magazine stuff. That was awesome.
Yeah.
Like that magazine where they're flipping, I'm like, okay, this is really cool. And then the goat demon, okay, that's super cool.
Yeah.
And the nun character, oh no, yeah, you're right. I mean, and the nun character is just like, it's just a really fucking cool character. Like it's like very like metal, like extremely like just like people get like I have a friend that's a tattoo artist, and like she's tattooed people. Many of people get the nun tattoo because it's such a freaking cool character.
Are you sure it's not Marilyn Manson that they're tattooing, and you think it's?
No. Although these days he kind of looks like that.
No.
Real quick, I forgot to mention in The Nun too. Did you guys think the introduction of time travel was bizarre? Because they show the nun in the Warrens' house, but that's not till years later.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's like
because it doesn't really make sense when they also tie in in the movie, the first movie, they tie in the tape, which is into the Conjuring, from the first Conjuring, and then it just doesn't really make sense. Like, it doesn't really flow that character. It just doesn't make, like, how it would fall on a timeline doesn't really make sense.
Yeah.
I don't know if, like, I don't have really good words to explain it, but.
But yeah, Logan, What do you got coming up on Video Villa podcast?
Oh, we're gonna do Cujo. That'll be our Halloween episode.
Oh, nice.
So
Wow,
I'm looking forward to doing that one.
Joey, that's a good movie with Dee Wallace. Unlike Jeepers Creepers Reborn.
That's right, man.
That is true.
What's the dog movie? Oh, is it Man's Best Friend? Where it's
Oh
like a
yeah, with
hybrid-
Lance Henriksen.
It's like a hybrid
was-
Yeah,
dog.
that's the genetically engineered dog.
Yes.
I reviewed that.
Yeah, it's like
on,
super smart.
I reviewed that with James on Cinemasker a few years back. I watched that one a lot as a kid when I revisited it. I'm like, oh man, this one doesn't hold up.
Oh, it's
This
so
one
bad.
is so stupid.
It's so bad.
The dog sabotages a car.
Yeah.
It knows how to sabotage a car.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
It's a hybrid, Tony.
Logan, is there anything on the list that isn't on the list that you did see?
So did y'all see the Dark Harvest movie?
No, I didn't. Is it good? Can you recommend it?
So the only reason why I watched it was I was on freaking TikTok and being bored, and that showed a death scene, and I was like, oh shit, I didn't know it was that kind of movie. So it's like a young adult book that came out like 2006, and they made it into a horror movie. Now I haven't listened to the book or read the book, so I don't know actually how. I know, like, I looked up the synopsis, so it's like not fully accurate how the book was, but I don't know if the book goes that dark. But there are some kills in this movie that are just like ridiculous. Like at one part of the movie, I won't tell too much because if you do watch it, it's kind of cool. But one part of the movie where a guy gets half of his head cut off and he's still talking before it's like everything just shuts down and he dies. That's what I saw on TikTok. I'm like, oh shit, like this is not a PG-13 movie. This is a rated R movie. Like we're going to go there. Okay, I'm going to check it out. It was pretty good. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's not a good movie. But it's like
You're like, it's pretty good. Don't get me wrong.
It's an emotional roller coaster.
no. Like I like movies. Like I like movies that a lot of people don't like, and that's not to say like, oh, it's ironically funny to laugh at them because they're bad. No, I like movies that everyone hates, and I'm like, well, I liked it, and they're like, what is wrong?
Hey,
with
look,
you?
I like
But,
Angry Bulk. We've all been there. We all have that one or two movies.
I like Suicide Squad, the first one.
Oh God. Okay.
I'm
no,
the only
that's a
one.
little too
I'm
far.
literally the
John,
only one.
Let's cut the feed.
Yeah.
Actually, my 11-year-old son Connor loves Suicide Squad. So
No, I will say. So you said it was like a young adult book and it was really violent.
Yeah.
That reminds me of Fear Street from a few years ago, where it had a very young.
So
adult
it's got
feel.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's got
But then
that
the girl's head
feel
goes
like
through
this.
a bread cutter.
Yes. You're like same thing with Fear Street. I didn't know we were going to get there until the end of the movie. Like, oh, that's when you chose to show this kind of stuff. Like this one, it shows it like with 30 minutes into the movie. But it's just about like basically a monster that terrorizes a town. If it reaches a church by midnight, then the town is going to be like in ruin. Like basically in like a horrible sandstorm will come and ruin all their crops or whatever. But it's based in the 60s. So there's like greasers and stuff like that. And then it's got a twist. I won't tell you about the twist or whatever, but like there's just one scene though. Like I want to say it is not a good movie, but there's some scenes that like, okay, that's beautifully shot. Like there's think of the best way to explain the movie. It is like Sleepy Hollow meets The Purge. That's the best way to explain the movie.
That sounds interesting. By the way,
Like-
Sleepy Hollow, Monday's episode. Just reiterating.
That is true, yeah. But yeah, like it's kind of like that, like where basically anything, like there are no rules for one night, and it is like I said, it's stupid, but like the effects are some CGI effects, but still, it is.
Well,
I don't
you
know.
saw-
I'm talking like I work for them.
Yeah, you're like, trust me. The movie's bad, but it's got this. It's not good, but it's got this.
Not at this point.
Like you're trying to sell me a car that like doesn't drive. It's like, okay, the engine doesn't work, but the tires are full.
Yeah.
The tires have air in it. It's like, okay, the
now
windshield.
let
wiper
me
fluid-
talk to you about NFTs for the next 20 minutes.
Little
You're
you know,
like,
I work
Tony,
in
I got-
sales, so.
You're like, Tony, I got a
No, I'm
crypto
joking.
coin.
But I mean, if you ever get, you're muted.
There he goes.
God.
I had to get in one more.
I'm back.
Okay, good wake up.
Okay.
By the way, I don't know if you were this hot when you wore your mask on MummyCon, but this thing for almost 2 hours is like, it's like suffocating me.
Mine was latex that I wore for the first season. Whenever I put it on, it wasn't broken into, so I left it on the entire day. because it was too hard to take off. And yeah, that was a nightmare. That was a nightmare. That's why the mask is like falling apart now. Anyway, I'm going to let you go now. Thank you so much. Check out the Video Villa podcast. Let's
Mommy
see
cop
here.
milkers.
Hello, Jay, who's out in the dark. Are you in a
Yeah.
found footage movie right now?
Oh God, I wish, but I'm pretty sure it would be terrible by now. Yeah, I'm kind of busy in the middle of this area, but go along.
Yeah. So what movies on the list did you check out? Which one do you want to talk about specifically, briefly?
Out of the list, I think I've seen 3, I believe, but I want to talk about Saw X, if you could believe it.
Yeah. What did you like or not like about Saw X?
Well, for starters, I'm familiar with like the characters have their own accomplices, and although I haven't seen any of the Saw films after the first one, I do believe Saw X is definitely a return to form in terms of, giving what the fans want and basically the gore aspect, especially after the disappointment of Saw Spiral.
Yeah, Spiral was a little bit of a letdown.
I heard that was the worst.
Yeah, which I
It's
believe
not the worst one, but
I believe this one is basically they were originally going to written this one, but then Chris Rock came over, and I believe this is the one that they were talking about from the behind the scenes features for Saw Spiral.
oh, okay. But yeah, so you did enjoy the film?
Yeah. Well, the one thing I'm not sure if you don't like it, but although I understand that they have this time limit, I wish that in the later traps, I wish they gave them more time because they seem a little bit unfair, especially when it comes to like say they have to, the bone marrow and the part where the chemical reaction has to be in a certain way before, they get burned or killed to death.
Yeah, here's the thing. Jigsaw never accounts for people going into shock or adrenaline. It's like, Jigsaw, you got to give him at least like 5-10 minutes before it starts. No one can do this in the short time frame you have. I mean,
this isn't Double Dare. He doesn't expect them to win at the end. Like, he wants them dead.
Quality assurance.
I mean, I get that the reason why he stuck with the 3-minute limit because of the first trap, but still, you'll at least give everyone else some more time at least.
Yeah.
He should have realized after the first one, like, you know what, we should maybe we add like 20 seconds for the other ones,
Well, so I'm not sure about you, but I feel like Saw X is basically like the equivalent to it's basically their Joker, where they now make you sympathize with the anti-hero of the entire franchise.
That's what I'm saying.
It did feel, now that you said that, it does feel a lot like, holy shit. Yeah. Yeah, you connected the dots there. This does feel like a Joker. This feels like, what is it? So it's Joker and John Wick meets Taken meets something else. By the way, there was a John Wick show that came out. I didn't watch a single episode.
Continental?
Yeah, I didn't watch it yet. Did you check it out?
I wish, but it didn't seem like it's their John Wick thing. Like,
yeah, I want to see what
hotel aspect.
Yeah, I want to see if it's like worth it. But yeah, did you have anything else any other movie you want to talk about briefly before we move on?
I saw an early screening for this Nicolas Cage film, if you could believe it, Dream Scenario.
Oh, is that good or?
Yeah, it was great.
You said it's a Nicolas
if you could believe it.
So it's an early
showing up in people's dreams, right?
Yeah, it's that movie.
Yeah.
Oh,
is
shit.
Nicolas Cage Freddy Krueger?
I love Nicolas Cage.
When's that come out? You said it's an early screening. Does that come out in November?
Yeah, it was lucky to have in the area.
Oh, I'm gonna put that on the list.
Yes,
then.
please.
Fucking.
Although I will
Nicolas...
say, I'm not sure if you could believe this, but in the middle of the movie, it probably has the funniest usage of the old fart joke that you could ever imagine. Like, you think it'll be terrible, but the way they use it is so funny.
I can believe that. Anyway, thank you, Jay. Thanks for letting me know about that movie. I'm going to put it on the list. Nicolas Cage
welcome.
entering people. I didn't even hear about that one, so thanks for bringing that up. I still need to see the one where he plays himself from last year.
Yeah.
With the
Oh, yeah, and one more
Mandalorian
thing.
guy.
For Joey C., what do you think about the Jeepers Creepers visual effects, and could you name any other movie that is worse as Jeepers Creepers Reborn?
Absolutely not. Listen, my little cousin, Grimace himself, could take my camera and make a better movie than Jeepers Creepers Reborn. Awful.
I can tell you right now that Jeepers Creepers Reborn makes the Robert Rodriguez kids films feel like masterpieces.
Yeah, it's below
Literally.
Spy Kids and shit.
Dude, this makes Spy Kids 3D look like Citizen Kane. I am right now. You're getting me upset right now.
Adam,
makes Shock Lord Lava look like that dome from the Mandalorian show.
Yeah.
Adam, like there are scenes of Jeepers Creepers Reborn where I think the backgrounds are made in like the Unreal Engine, the video game engine. They are
Unreal
like
5 is pretty solid. I mean,
this is not Unreal 5. This
Okay.
is something
Yeah.
else. But anyway,
how are the colors in the film?
there's a lot of
You gotta ask
blues and
it.
green. I love that she just showed up. Made it sound like just showed up to talk about the colors in Totally Killer and then just left.
I was really hoping because the other guy mentioned color, and I thought for sure she was gonna like pop in and really say color.
The colors in the
What was it? The colors in the movie were colors.
there's something about the colors
Colors?
are colorful. I don't know. All right, good talking to you, Jay. Let's move on to
Thanks, Jay.
Oh, sorry, that was real quick. Goodbye, Jay.
Jay.
Yeah, take care.
Bye.
Felt bad. I cut him off before he could say bye. Okay, next. Oh, it's costume themed. Oh my gosh. It's the faceless Joker from the new comics that I didn't read. Steven from Discord. Hello, Steven.
Hello, Tony. Hello, Crystal. Hello, Gil. Hello, Joey C. Hello, Adam Does Movies.
Hello, friend.
Hello.
Can you guys hear me? This like covers my mouth.
I mean, it's annoying and muffled, but yes, we
I can
hear
hear you
you.
better than I
Sure.
heard Tony for half of this stream.
Fuck
Sound
you,
more like
Adam.
Bane than
Fuck you,
Joker.
Adam.
I'll do this. So just
Yes.
I just look stupid the whole time.
Steven, what movies on the list did you see?
So I got the list just to make sure I don't forget anything. I saw The Nun 2, Totally Killer, Saw X, VHS 85. I saw one episode of Suburban Screams, and then I saw The Exorcist Believer.
So you saw everything. Good.
Basically,
Let
Yeah.
me hear your thoughts on Totally Killer, because the other two talked about Nun 2 and Saw X. What do you think of Totally Killer?
I actually quite enjoyed Totally Killer. Back to the Future is my favorite movie, so just any movie that rips it off but adds another aspect, like a slasher movie, it seems like a fun idea. Yeah, I kind of like the whole time travel aspect. I do agree with you guys that the kind of like Gen Z jokes that she just kept saying over and over again got like really annoying.
Yeah.
It seemed it just I kind of the punchlines of them weren't very good, but like other than that though, I thought the movie was pretty good.
The woke servational humor, you could say.
Yeah. Although I think The Exorcist Believer had a much worse woke type of line in it.
Oh my god, we didn't even
Oh,
talk about the
yeah, we did
patriarchy
talk about
line.
that.
That's right, it
So
did.
bad.
Okay, Crystal, I don't know how you missed this because this blew up on X. It's called X now.
I die every time you guys say that.
Okay, I'm back.
I know you keep saying X. I keep getting really
Guys, I'm
confused.
getting a better mic. I'm buying a mic after this. I'm so tired of this happening. So yeah, they Chris McNeil, Ellen, she goes, I didn't actually see the exorcism. They wouldn't let me in the room. Now, why do you think they wouldn't let her in the room based off your knowledge of the first film? Because it was dangerous?
I mean, yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Remember those two priests who literally died saving her daughter?
Yeah.
Sacrificed themselves for
Oh,
her daughter?
yeah. There's no reason why she should be in
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
Yeah.
So in
no.
this movie, she goes, my thoughts was it was the patriarchy.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. Now, here's the thing.
What?
A lot of people were talking about this line leading up to it. And when I saw it in the movie, the guy she's talking to giggles afterwards. And I'm like, so when I saw that, I'm like, I think she's making a joke, but her line delivery did not sound like. So I wonder if in the script, that's just her being like humorous, but it did not come off that way. And it was like, lady, those men died saving your daughter, and you could have almost died
What a
too.
bitch.
Why are you now being like, patriarchy? Am I right?
It's even worse.
God, like that dude's like was horribly murdered on those stairs. The other dude had his heart stopped. Like, Jesus Christ!
And then
woman,
she
you're awful.
capitalized on it. She wrote a
She
book,
did.
made a bunch of money.
Living in a
Which,
beautiful
by the way,
house on the ocean.
by the way, the TV show introduced a lot of those elements that this movie took. Because in the TV show, it says that Reagan's mom like made her go on like shows and embarrassed her basically to make her talk about it, and then they grew apart. And it was done so much better there. than it was here.
She wasn't in the room because of the patriarchy. What the
The
fuck?
patriarchy. I wish I could use that excuse. Like, you know what?
I'm gonna say for now on.
Anytime someone asks why you weren't in an
There he goes.
Nope, it was.
in my opinion, it was the patriarchy.
Yep. Not because Tony hates me. It's because of the patriarchy.
I'm gonna fucking break this microphone so hard. Anyway, Steven, any other movie you wanted to comment on?
So because everyone else has commented on movies that they've seen that weren't on the list.
Oh yeah.
I just randomly, I was looking through my movies and I was like, I don't really want to watch Exorcist right now. I don't want to watch The Nun 2 right now, which I ended up watching later. So I went to the theaters on a whim to watch a found footage movie called Malibu Horror Story.
Oh, how was that? I saw someone else talking about that.
I did not like it.
Oh.
It had a cool concept. I don't want to give anything away because like it's kind of like the whole build up of the movie is like what's exactly going on. But it just had like a lot of those found footage strips that I hate and like really like went 100% into them. So it kind of like I was enjoying it at first, like the build up to it, but like by the end of it, I'm like, oh, this is just like every bad found footage movie. And the main reason I watched it was because one of the people from Critical Role, Marisha Ray, is in it. So I was like, okay, cool, I'll watch it from Marisha Ray.
Podcast, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I watched it, and the whole movie, I'm like, wait, where was Marisha Ray? And then I looked at the credits. She has like one talking head segment, like very early in the movie. She has like 2 lines, and then she's never in the movie again.
Oh, so like the mom from Exorcist Believer. Got it.
Yeah.
Oh man. Well, anyway, well, thanks for giving me the heads up on that. I heard it was interesting, but I guess maybe now I'll skip it. I'll look at a trailer, I guess. All right, I'm gonna let you go, Steven. Thank you for being a patron. I forgot to say that to the other guys. Thank you, everyone, for being a patron.
You're welcome. I'm very happy to be a patron.
Thank you. And
that's a pay pig if I've ever seen one.
Man, you just
and look.
So fast.
Mint, I see you in the chat, but we're gonna get Mint. You can be in with the super chats, but before you derail this, let's get our last guy here. Dennis.
He looks shocked every time you click on him. He always looks shocked.
The one in Dennis who went to TwitchCon wearing the shirt with my face on it, and he's wearing that nice new shirt now.
Dennis
Yes, I
is
did.
quite a
I did. I
supporter.
got many compliments from
Dennis, I just want to say
men.
that's a really nice Shure mic that you have. I will be getting one myself.
You
soon.
definitely need one. You
I really
definitely
need
do.
one.
Dennis, your voice just does sound really great in that mic. Damn.
So, Dennis, what movie on the
Yeah,
list did you
Daddy.
see?
Oh, I didn't see any. Unfortunately, I was really busy this month, and you guys sound great on this compared to YouTube. And gotta say hi. Gotta stop and say what up, Joey C. Hey, how you doing, Adam? Gil,
baby?
of course.
Hello.
And Crystal. Hi.
So you just joined the stream to say hi to us?
Yeah, pretty much.
That's
I could tell
He just
you
wants to
the
show off the
movie.
mic.
You guys talked a lot about was the VHS movie. I'll probably watch that one. That's probably
Yeah,
the first one.
definitely.
Have you seen the other ones?
No, but I have actually acted in a knockoff style VHS movie.
What is
called,
that?
It's
What is
called
it?
Vault of Terror 2, The Undead. It's kind of like the same kind of concept of a VHS movie. I'll
I
send you the
require a
scene
copy.
one day. Yeah.
Is that
I'm one of the
streaming anywhere?
VHS I don't know. At one point, they made a deal with some
Pornhub.
weird company, but I'm also in another great movie called The Last Kung Fu Monk, where I watch someone get beat up. That's it.
Ooh.
Sounds great.
Well,
No
since
horror in
you
that
were
one,
in that
but-
found footage, or is it, you said found footage anthology?
Yes.
Well, now that you were in that is now the best found footage anthology film ever. We all agree. Whatever the title was, I've already forgotten it. That's now all of our favorite found footage anthology.
That's
my
right.
highest rated IMDb film, that's for sure.
Dennis, always great seeing you. Thank
Love
you
you
for
guys.
being a patron. I hope you enjoyed the raids I've been sending you on Twitch.
Yeah, you're lovely. You're a great person.
All right, thank you. All right, let's bring the queen in and let's get these super chats out of the way and call it a night. Oh, hello, Mint. Did you hear us talking about you?
Different spot.
Completely different location.
I just wanted to talk about colors, the importance of colors. First of all, colors are just as important as sound, which is what you don't got, Tony. Okay, So also, colors are important because it helps establish emotional connection. Like red is violence, blue is sadness, etc., etc. If you have colors in the movie, then you're able to have a deeper emotional connection to the movie, making a lasting impact. And more people talk about the movie. That's why color is important. Also,
Okay, real quick.
color is just as important.
Real quick, Mint. Two things. One, thank you for having a worse microphone than me. Two, how did you feel about all those black and white movies you reviewed? They didn't have any colors in them, but you were still able to enjoy them, right?
You want to know why I enjoy the black and white colors? It's the values work too. It's colors.
Of course, the values, of course.
But there's also the shading of it.
Tony?
Yes, I know.
Okay, values. Establishing high contrast in things is like, like the lights. If lights is good for like metaphorical purposes, but also if you want to contrast the lights, like if you want to like exaggerate something in the foreground, if you want somebody's eye to go to a direction, you can have a light there, and then you can have some movement to draw the attention, and then you can have like some shadow. It's like, ooh, spooky, like adding some darkness, creates some mood. You gotta master your values and then also your colors.
All right, well, I
appreciate colors in art. And
I hope you appreciate the colors Adam has put on his TV in the background.
Yeah.
I love everyone here except for Tony.
What the? I just spent 2 weeks with you. I let you stay at my place, and this is how you treat me?
Look, I'm so passionate about movies. Okay?
Also, is your smoke detector going off mid?
She's just bouncing.
It sounded like a smoke detector.
I don't got a smoke detector. Look,
That's a different problem. Okay. Mint, stop talking for a second. Okay. So for $195, Adam says nothing. Yeah,
Let
it
me
didn't show up.
clarify it. Let me clarify it. I
Yeah.
was trying to be nice because you were having like a little pity party for yourself. And you were like, can someone just tell me I look nice? So I said, hey, Tony, you look very nice. Okay, that's what it was. And it
Thank
didn't show
you.
up. Yeah, well.
Thank you. Let me see here. Joe Panaccio for $10. They really got to update StreamYard to show stickers. It's a balloon and the number 1 dancing. Thank you, Joe Panaccio. Let's see here. Mike Florent for $2 says you look nice today, Tony.
He figured it out. He figured it out.
By the way, I'm wearing a zombie Hulk Hogan shirt
That's actually
that I bought at Hulk Hogan's store in Florida. I didn't realize until today when I was coming down the stairs that it was glow in the dark, and it scared me. I was like, oh my God, what's on me? I was like, oh God, what's on me? Like, oh, it's a glow in the dark shirt. I had no idea. I just bought it because it was Hulk Hogan looking weird.
Yeah.
Next up, Alon Gil. There we go again. There's a character limit. Sorry for the typos. Just kind of sad face.
But the amount that he's already spent could have been paid for a correct.
By the way, you get more characters the more money you donate, Alon. Don't act like I don't know that detail. Gil, what the hell?
Yeah, I know. We're going to have a talk after this. One needs to spend his money more wisely.
AJ Whistle for 10 Looney Tunes dollars. Tony, tell us about the wedding. Why isn't Johanna here? Why weren't you maid of honor? Why was Crystal chasing you like Lady Demetrice from Resident Evil 8 hunting Danny DeVito? Why did Crystal get compared to the tall goth mommy and I got compared to fucking Danny DeVito? I don't know why I wasn't the maid of honor. I'm the reason Johanna got married. I indirectly introduced her to her husband. I wasn't the maid of honor. I wasn't the best man. I didn't get to give her away. I didn't get to do
a toast.
I didn't get to do a speech.
Wow.
He was so angry.
I was
watching 3 people give a speech.
Yeah, one of them wasn't the best man or maid of honor. It was just some guy. And I'm like, how did he? What should be?
He was just a guy that was there.
I mean, maybe she didn't want a speech that started with "This is all my doing," and we should all thank me. But no, the wedding was fine, and Johanna's not here because she's on her honeymoon.
She is on her honeymoon. I think she comes back today, actually.
Adam does movies again for $195, saying nothing.
So shut up. This time I was frustrated with YouTube. So the comment the second time was, "Hey Tony, you look like shit." But that one didn't show up either. So.
Yeah, Joe said his comment didn't show up. It said, "Congrats on 60K subs and get Joey C some heat in whatever basement he's streaming in."
Oh, that's weird. Why is it not? That's weird.
I'm not in a
It's happening
basement, but
on-
I was cold.
Yeah, it was like on YouTube and StreamYard. It's not showing up, so
Yeah.
I think it's on YouTube's end. Joe Panaccio for $2. Adam has to send super chats to get a word in.
He sees it. He hears it. He knows what's happening on this stream. I'm being silenced.
The flail. Can everyone lick their cameras? No, flail.
I'll lick my camera right now.
You're very brave, and I applaud your braveness.
Thank you, mate, for applauding his praise.
It was a fake lick. I didn't actually look at it, but you can't tell.
And it wasn't the right camera.
Like a ghost punch. You
Movie
can't tell.
magic. Movie magic.
That's right.
How was the colors in his camera licking there, man?
Look, I love the color on that TV next to him. It looks great.
Yes.
You gotta love it. You gotta. It makes you want to dance, doesn't it?
Someone's got to clip that.
Guys,
Yeah, someone clip that.
I checked it out too. I was staring at that too.
Okay, our Latinx. Mint, are you still talking?
Are you still talking?
Yes.
Oh,
Our Latinx correspondent, Michael Moorhead II, says, "What's up, Hack fam? Just leaving my work event." He ditched us for a work event.
He
Can you
did.
believe
I
that?
know. The bearded outlaw.
I've never been more disappointed in him in my life. He should be banned from the show. Kirk Pecker for $5 said, "Did you hear about the real life sleeping virus in Kazakhstan where people passed out for days out of nowhere? Someone should make that a horror movie."
That's
No, there was a virus that made people
actually
sleep for days.
crazy.
They
That
did.
sounds horrifying.
There was a movie.
That's
bad.
great.
The new
What was
Hey
it?
Arnold movie was about that.
The Hey Arnold
The
movie.
made-for-TV one, like a couple years ago.
Oh, you're serious?
Wow, I didn't know
Yeah.
that.
You're making a joke.
Roofie, to be honest.
That's
I don't joke
wild.
about Hey Arnold.
Hey, that's fair.
right.
Fair.
I need
Gil,
that
do you have
virus.
videos on Hey Arnold?
That I'm doing the chronological timeline of Hey Arnold.
Okay. Non-binary for Tony. Jesus Christ.
Oh.
I'm
Oh,
sure
yeah.
this is a real. I'm sure based off the British money, this isn't just AJ Wizzle in another account. Joey and Tony, thank you for giving representation to the femboy, femdom, pay pig community.
Yep.
In your Jeepers Creepers episode.
Those are my 3 favorite things in the whole world.
Okay,
I'm
okay. So
happy
for
to do
clarification, so the actors in Jeepers Creepers Reborn, they're very British and they're supposed to be playing American, and their accents are going in and out. The
Yeah.
girl said fanboy, but we heard femboy, and it led to a whole discussion.
that.
Next up, Richard Milligan for $5. Damn, thought this was Movie Dumpster. I'll watch any. What the fuck?
That's hilarious.
I like Movie Dumpster. We get along. Why are people trying to start a feud with me and Movie Dumpster?
You can't. The love's too strong, guys.
Ugh.
Love's too strong.
Has Min been dancing the whole time? Are you filming?
Yes,
Are
she
you
doesn't
streaming in
stop.
OnlyFans at the same time as you're doing this?
I missed it. What?
He noticed you were dancing. He wants to know if you're streaming to OnlyFans at the same time.
I'm just, you gotta dance for the super chats.
You just
You gotta
vibing?
show them appreciation. Exactly.
I love you, man.
Sure, sure.
Vibing.
Joey, you got to dance right now.
Okay, I'll just do
Joey,
the thing
Joey.
that I can do.
That was way too much dancing,
Yeah, you
Joey.
do that?
That's all I can do.
Hey, Joey.
Okay, okay,
I'm
okay.
not much of a dancer per se.
Fallow the Clown for $5 says, only reason white
White.
is
Yeah.
the only reason white is she looks like OG Exorcist girl, and they didn't give us enough time to care about her. So I say big fail.
Oh yeah, I completely agree. I completely agree.
Reason white is she looks like the OG. Okay. I'm glad you agree. That the beginning of that sentence really confused me.
Joey doesn't know. He's just agreeing.
Yeah, I agree.
Did Mitch
Big fail.
just die?
Tony, you ignorant slut.
I was adjusting my mic. How does this sound?
It sounds a little bit better.
Sounds a little okay.
Dav Pellerin sends again a dancing #1, but I don't know if there actually was a comment attached to that one too, because YouTube's being weird tonight, I guess.
Yeah, I saw one of the comments says you have to add the comment after you pay the money. Listen, this isn't my first rodeo, Swizzle.
No.
I did it correctly. I crossed all the T's, dotted all the I's. It didn't work.
Dot at your lowercase J's.
Yeah, well.
Fior for $5. Screw the patriarchy. I love Crystal. Hope Tony takes you out to dinner. I still am
He
over.
will never take Johanna and I out to dinner. That's just what
I
it
lost a
is.
bet like a year and a
at
half
least
ago.
2 years ago.
Hashtag Crystal Month. It's not Crystal Month.
Every month is Crystal
You
Month.
fuckers, I
Year.
will
Yes,
bring
it's
Boys Month
supposed to
back.
be
I will
weird.
bring Boys Month back.
You
man.
should. You should.
I will take the fight. I will take the financial hit again to bring Boys Month back.
We do Men's Month.
We'll do Men's
Oh,
Month.
yes.
Right.
Oh,
That's right.
Where are you
Yeah.
finding the men
Yeah.
at?
Oh, yeah,
Shut the fuck
Are you,
up.
that means you can't be on your own show, Tony.
First, we have to do a men's audition, do a men's hunt, and then we'll have them on.
My favorite is in Seinfeld when they're like, "Do you think we could build a cabin?" He's like, "No, but 2 men could." AJ Wizzle for £10. Adam, it's great that you review Blumhouse movies. They make the best legacy sequels. A library is closing in Philly, so me and Tony are gonna get a copy of that Fantasy Island for his Blumhouse. I forgot Blumhouse did a Fantasy Island. reboot.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
It was like a horror. I mean, the original, not a horror film or a show by any stretch of the imagination. So
Yeah.
I kind of flipped it on its head.
And then, they made that horror version, and now there's like a TV reboot of Fantasy Island.
There
Too many
is?
Fantasy Islands.
And did they try to pretend that Peele had something to do with that movie? It was like produced by him, or
I don't know.
knew a guy who knew a guy. So they're like, Peele presents.
Oh, I
It
did
wasn't
that.
the
I know
worst.
they did that for Candyman, but
Mm-hmm. Candyman was fine. I liked Candyman, the new one.
it was all right.
It was good. It was good.
all right.
The new
All right.
one?
Yeah, it
I
was
didn't
all
see it. I didn't see
Oh,
it.
okay.
Mike Warhead the second, $4.99. He's not even giving the $5. He's $4.99 now. Wow, wow, Tony. I see how it is. Guess I'll find a new show to be part of.
Don't do that.
No, I need you.
I need your support.
Uh,
Girls Month!
Collier Wild says
I got a
Girls
skirt
Month.
for that, so we can rock and roll, man.
Joey.
Yeah. You're welcome. You're welcome.
Let's
man,
do it.
Josie.
I
Oh,
appreciate it. Man.
okay, hold on. Lenny Laserdisc $1.99. I hated Exorcist Believer so much. I don't blame you.
Wow.
Okay,
Good.
get
All
your
right.
final ones in now. I'm gonna have everyone plug their stuff. Gil, where can we find you?
You can find more of my stuff at youtube.com/one-take-vids. And if you need some Halloween viewing this weekend, tomorrow I'm coming out with a history of horror video. I went
Ooh.
into Library of Congress newspaper archives to find when was the first time someone used the phrase horror movie. I went deep. It's coming out tomorrow. I'm going to stay up all night to edit. So check it out.
You mean a Gilstery of horror? Thank you.
Gil, you need to rebrand and just be just make puns about your name.
That's what I do.
I can't do it. Adam, what do you do with that? Add gum? That's original.
I'll have to let me know when that video's up. I mean, I subscribe, but also I'm the worst. So let me know when that video's up. Joey, what do you got coming up? And by the way, thanks for making me look problematic in your Ernest video. But anyway, what do you have coming up?
I am discussing the very deep history and lore of Grimace from McDonald's. I'm not kidding.
Oh my
So
God.
keep your eye out for that. It's a great one. Go to youtube.com/officialjoeyc for all your Grimace needs, folks. It's fantastic. We'd love to have you.
And Joey, it definitely hasn't happened yet.
That's right.
But I'm taking you to a haunted hayride in the future.
Yes, in the
and-
future.
And haunted houses, and you better be manly.
I
during
will,
all
I
of those
promise.
Is
haunted
it a
things.
metaphor for something, or are you actually taking him on a hayride?
No, I'm taking it. He's afraid of cornfields, but the
Oh.
one corn maze isn't open near me.
Yeah.
So I'm taking him to a horror thing, and I'm gonna do a vlog trying to see how manly he is. He better not get scared of anything. Mint.
I won't be.
Look, I
Mint.
only wanted to stop by, say hello, promote our Sleepy Hollow review on Hack the Movies channel
Ooh.
on Monday. and commentary track on both of our Patreons.
And you also did your own mini review ahead of mine. Thank you.
Yes, I also have a review on that too. Also as well. So love y'all.
I play Frankenstein's monster in Mint's Frankenstein review. Should check that out. And we did a few more fun reviews, and we have another commentary track coming out for Halloween 2, the original.
So check bonus content.
And we can find some of that at ASC Presents, right, on YouTube.
Yes.
YouTube.com/ASC Presents.
All right.
Good job, Mint. Okay, Adam. Where can we find?
Frog Toys now. Bye bye.
What did she just say?
I don't even know how to. I don't even know how to respond to that, or certainly can't follow that up. You can find my stuff at Adam Does Movies on YouTube. Tony sometimes shows up. I'll be live streaming tomorrow night. I just did what some are saying is the best movie roast ever of the Human Centipede.
Yep.
If you've seen the Human Centipede, that movie gave me chills watching it. And
wow, so that video's been up for less than 24 hours and people are already saying it's the best ever?
That's what my mom said. But she says that about all my stuff that she doesn't watch.
Good.
I was about to say, I know you're trying to sound pathetic, but my mom doesn't watch many of my stuff.
Well, what's more sad is my mom will pretend to be a fan, champion my things, and she'll be like, "Oh, Adam, good job on that live stream. We couldn't watch it. Our Wi-Fi was bad last night." Like, Mom, cut the shit. All right. Don't bullshit a bullshitter, Mom. Okay.
Did she then knock on her thing and go Chinese food and then go, "Oh, sorry, I got Chinese
food."
It's another Seinfeld
I got your Seinfeld reference. I hear you. I see you.
And that's everyone on the panel. I don't know on anyone else to plug anything. I guess I could talk about me. Sorry, Crystal. Do you have anything you want to plug?
Well, I was gonna say, hack the movies, but I don't have any episodes coming up.
Oh.
Okay, I'm still getting the list together. Relax.
You find me on all my socials, Crystal Quinn. Probably you'll find me.
Why are you sounding you're about to cry?
I have nothing.
I'm so excited.
Crystal, weren't you on a ghost hunting video recently?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Hometown Ghost Stories. I was on that. There's actually other podcasts, better ones that I was on recently. Because Lisa will have me.
Fuck you.
Oh my God.
Hometown Ghost Stories is actually really cool. We actually went to the S.K. Pierce mansion up in Massachusetts, right near Salem, not far from Salem. And I believe, I always believed in ghosts, but holy goddamn shit. Yeah, it's real. No.
You heard it here first. Ghosts are real.
No, I'm not fucking around. The shit it made me really sad though. But yes.
Okay.
It was fantastic.
And we will be at Monster Mania next month. So check that out.
I'll be there on Friday and Saturday.
And here's the last super chat of the night. Sorry I joined late. Did I miss any mention of Mommy Milkers?
Yes, you
missed
did.
Several. What a good note to end on. All right, goodbye, everyone. We'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.